Zippity yay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is Friday, the 8th of May, and we've got some stormies to discuss here, moving south out of the state of Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains, along with cow farts. What we're going to be dealing with over the next few hours are some storms rolling south out of Oklahoma. Some of those are going to have some wind, some hail, heavy rain, lightning. We got some stormies firing up in northeast Texas as well. Now, let's be clear what we're dealing with here and what we're not. I know many of you tuning in right now are probably a little worried based on what we've had the last few weeks, so let me put you at ease. We're not doing the whole spinny doom thing unless something really obnoxious happens, which, I mean, Mama Nature is pretty obnoxious, so it could always happen. Okay, Reiner, thanks very much for that super chat to start off the evening. Appreciate it. But what we're really going to be dealing with out of the most intense storms the next few hours will be hail on some strong winds and lightning. And these storms rolling south across the Red River into places like Vernon, Wichita Falls, over eventually towards portions of Henrietta, Nocona, should be weakening over the next few hours as they make their way south towards Highway 380. But we're still going to have some rowdy storms to deal with for the next few hours. And this stuff firing up in northeast Texas is not severe at the moment. Some of those storms are producing some small hail, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, and heavy rain. We're just here to help keep y'all up to date. So, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect from really the north sides of the DFW Metroplex up
the National
into
Weather
Texoma.
Service has issued
This
a
is
new
not going to be an
severe
issue
thunderstorm
tonight
warning for
Montague County in Texas.
for areas like Central Texas, Houston, etc. We are focused up here in Northwest Texas, and we do have that new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued. That's going to be for a good chunk of Montague County for up to Easter egg size hail. That's 2 inches in diameter, along with localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. We'll see that pop up here in just a moment, but that new severe thunderstorm warning includes places like Nocona, Bonita, Belcherville, Ringgold, Stoneburg, the community of Montague at the intersection of 59 and 175 to St. Joe. And again, this is going to be for a severe storm still up in Oklahoma, just north of Ryan, moving south at about 25 miles an hour. This is going to be moving on to the south. And again, this storm could have up to 2-inch diameter size hail. Again, that's about the size of an Easter egg, a bit larger than a baseball. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for that. And that activity is going to be moving on to the south. Again, about 25 miles an hour. This could have some pretty frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rain, and again, strong winds along with some potential of hail. Farther to the west, these thunderstorms extending along really Highway 70. From Davidson, Oklahoma, east to Granfield, Oklahoma, north of Randallett, Oklahoma, near Cookietown, are also moving south towards portions of Wichita and Clay counties. Those storms moving south with 60-mile-an-hour winds possible and hail up to 1 inch in diameter. And that activity, again, is going to be moving off to the south at about 20 to 25 miles per hour, with the potential, again, for some hail and some wind. Y'all give me just a second. We'll get the radar of life on here. There you go. So, and then back west from there, we have a severe storm that is near Chillicothe, moving south. That's going to stay west of Highway 183 and 283, west of the city of Vernon. It already moved over 287. And again, this storm could have the potential to produce some hail at this point. The hail threat has calmed down significantly with that storm for now. But those of you in Burke-Burnett, Shepherd Air Force Base, and even Wichita Falls, we're seeing a pretty good hail core of this storm. Let me show you a different radar site. because we're so close to the radar site there in Frederick, Oklahoma, you're not seeing the full hail core. Here's the hail core heading southeast out of Granfield. And again, could have at least quarter-size hail with this, maybe a bit larger. That hail core is definitely perked up a bit over the last 30 minutes, and that storm's moving off to the south-southeast with the potential, again, of hail up to now the size of tennis balls. So they just updated this warning. This is going to be now for the potential of tennis ball size hail moving southeast towards Burke-Burnett, Shepherd Air Force Base, and eventually, if this storm continues, it's going to make it down towards Wichita Falls. So again, this has now been upgraded from quarters to tennis balls. These storms have a very, very low tornado threat. We're not really too concerned about any issues with spinny doom at the moment. This is going to be a hail, lightning, and heavy wind issue. So heads up to those in Burke-Burnett to Wichita Falls, the potential for up to tennis ball size hail. Same for Iowa Park over the next 1 hour. Kona, thanks for the super chat. At this point, Gainesville, storms are going to stay just west of Gainesville based on the current trajectory. Y'all are going to get a good old light show off to your west here over the next hour or two. If this activity were to build east anymore, Gainesville would get some rain. But at this point, not really, no. So again, it is 9:40 p.m. For those of you just joining us, good evening. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy Chief David Reimer. We're monitoring a cluster of severe thunderstorms moving south out of Oklahoma into Texoma, Northwest Texas, along with North Texas. Strongest of these storms are capable of producing hail up to the size of tennis balls. That's 2.5 inches in diameter, along with localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. Heavy rain and dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning. The overall expectation over the next few hours is these storms will continue to move south-southeast and could approach Highway 380 probably by about, 11:30 p.m., maybe a bit later. At this point, we'll have to watch this storm that is moving towards Montague County, Nakona. That storm is on a long-term trajectory to make it towards DFW, but it would probably not be for another 3 hours based on the current rate of speed. These are only moving about 20 to 25 miles an hour, and we do expect these storms will be weakening by the time they get down to Highway 380. But until then, we're going to be here keeping an eye on the sky. Otherwise, we have nothing else going on in the severe weather department this evening. We have some showers that'll be moving across northeast Texas, actually some thunderstorms, and we'll have to keep an eye on some of these storms in northeast Texas. There is a non-zero risk. Some of those could get strong with a bit of hail, localized damaging winds, so they're not worried about tornadoes at this point. Cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rain, and then tomorrow morning we're going to have storms from Mexico move into South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, and those will make it through the coastal bend, coastal plains, and southeast Texas. So not a whole lot of folks that have to deal with severe weather issues tonight. Here's the severe weather outlook for tonight, by the way, and you can see we are mostly concentrating on this area of thunderstorm activity that'll be making it down to the Red River. We'll have some storms overnight into tomorrow morning across portions of South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, into the coastal bend. And otherwise, we'll keep an eye on northeast Texas. Here's the tornado risk. And again, you can see we technically don't even have more than about 20 square miles of Texas officially in a tornado risk. So the overall tornado risk tonight is very, very low. Y'all let us know where you're watching from tonight, by the way. Definitely appreciate everyone who's been popping on in. This is not one of these nights where I expect we're going to have big, widespread issues, but, at this point, so many of you have come to expect coverage from us. We will be here to chat about it. So let me switch radar sources here. We'll put a loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-doo and say, whee! And we'll press the buttons here so y'all can get a good projection of storm movement on this. And a lot of you are probably about to pop on in from our website. Will Dallas get rain for sure? No. No guarantee Dallas gets anything tonight. Wichita Falls, good evening. Yeah, y'all in the Falls need to be keeping an eye on this storm coming south out of Granfield, Oklahoma there on 3670. That'll be moving down through Burke Burnett towards Wichita Falls. Selkie, thank you very much for that super chat. Appreciate it. And again, main risk from the next several hours is going to be areas northwest of DFW, northwest Texas, west of Interstate 35, north of Highway 380. So we'll be watching places like Decatur, Bowie, Jacksboro, Archer City, Wichita Falls, Nocona for some issues over the next few hours. These storms are eventually going to be making their way south and weakening. Northeast Texas, we do have some scattered showers and a few storms. We're not expecting widespread severe weather out there tonight, but again, lightning is frightening. So if thunder roars, it is most definitely time to get your keister indoors. If you want to go watch some video at some point, there's a video from Mississippi the other day from storm chaser Aaron Rigsby. His car got struck by lightning while he was chasing. And trust me, you'd rather be in a car than not if that were the case. But lightning is very frightening and one of the most unpredictable things out there, for sure. All right, I'm going to press some buttons over here. All right. And Jason, if you're listening, I got that message. I guess I'll get that set up real quick. Good evening, everybody. Definitely hope everybody's doing well. And again, this is going to be one of these more leisurely streams here. You know, I know many of you found us over the last couple weeks when we were dealing with big, bad, very mad storms. With tornadoes and hurricane-force winds and softball-sized hail trying to take out your skylights. You know, not all our storms are going to be doing that. Now, these definitely pack a punch in the hail department, but, you know, the tornado risk is very, very low. Some of these storms could have up to tennis ball-sized hail here over the next hour or two before they start weakening. And, yeah, strong winds, heavy rain. But you know what? If we don't have to be super duper serious and we can bring you some Texas weather with humor, that is what I'm gonna do. All right, let's get this loaded up. We'll put this over here for a moment. Press some buttons, say yippity yay, my oh my, what a wonderful day. Sorry, it's what I do. All right, I'm gonna have to press that, we're gonna press that, we're gonna press that. Lucid Godness and Noggin Berries, thank you very much for those generous super chats. And yeah, you know what? We're going to be here. At this point, we are still watching the storms now on the Red River, south of Chillicothe. Chillicothe, you're clear. Vernon, you're probably not going to get anything sensible outside of some lightning and gusty winds. Nasty hail cores still near Granfield, Oklahoma, there on Highway 70 east to Duval, southwest of Cookatown. That's going to be moving towards Burke Burnett. Burke Burnett, y'all are hail magnets. I cannot count the number of times on dozens over the last 15 years, whether I've been doing storm coverage or chasing. How many times Burke Burnett's almost gotten blasted by hail. And y'all are about to do it again. So thanks for being our kind of guinea pigs here. Y'all tell us how big the hail gets after it stops falling. Do not go outside and play in the hail while it is falling, please. That's a dumb thing to do, and we don't like that. These storms are moving off to the southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. They're not cooking and booking, but they are moving. And again, the general expectation is they are going to be weakening as they get past Highway 380. And again, they are moving south-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And, you know, I say up to tennis ball size hail. It's not a guarantee. Look, I don't think most of these storms are going to be drop of tennis balls. But, you know, there's lots of lightning, there's heavy rain. Just not a pleasant experience for sure. But yeah, Wichita Falls, it's worth noting there is a outflow boundary. That rain-cooled air mass out ahead of the storms is actually pretty far out ahead of these storms already. So those of you in Electra, Vernon, Wichita Falls, just north of Henrietta, guess what? These storms are going to be moving on south. You're going to get that rain-cooled boundary probably good 10-20 minutes before the rain actually starts. So you'll get gusty north winds. It'll cool off. But these storms do not really care. Let's see if we actually ever got the severe weather watch to pop up here. I don't know what's up with that. But good evening, Bob. I hope you're doing well. Good evening to everybody popping on in. Appreciate it for sure. And yeah, you know what? We're just mainly here to provide some reassurance of what's not going on. And in this case, we don't have tornadoes. We don't have crazy hail in the sense of softballs. We do have hail. We don't, have hurricane force winds, stuff like that. So we'll be keeping an eye on things. Those cameras on the right side of the screen, those are going to be out of Wichita Falls. They're all TxDOT cameras out of Wichita Falls. We'll be keeping a close eye on things. But a lot of lightning right now. In Burke-Burnett, north of Electra, these storms shooting out lightning bolts way out ahead of the storms as they move on to the southeast. Again, about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for these storms. And again, the overall expectation is they will be weakening as they move off to the southeast over the next few hours. I'm going to take a look at some of my
The National Weather
data,
Service has issued a
and
new
if that
severe
data
thunderstorm
shows
warning
a
for
good trend,
Ford, Hardeman, and Knox County in Texas.
we'll share it with you. That warning, that's going to be for Ford City, Margaret, and Crowell out here. This storm northeast of Crowell and south of Chillicothe is actually moving southwest.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning
southwest
for
almost.
Ford,
Out here on the
and
western
Hardeman
side of this
County in
complex. So
Texas.
those of you in Crowell, Margaret, and Thalia, heads up. Along with Ford City, north of Trescott. Potential for a quick round of up to golf ball size hail. This storm, again, is moving southwest. But the rest of these storms are moving south-southeast. So don't let the anomalous little stormy trick you into thinking these aren't mostly moving south-southeast. They are. I'm pulling up some data. Yeah, it just doesn't. So again, the general expectation is most of this activity will be moving off south-southeast and weakening over the next few hours. But until then, the potential for some hail. Now, let's pop out to portions of northeast Texas. We do have some pop-up showers and storms out here. And let's take a look. By the way, these triangles you see, these little small triangles indicate small hail's possible. And then if they start showing numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the radar estimated hail size an inch. Most of y'all, well, don't care about any of that. We do have a pretty good number of little stormies popping up now, east of DFW. In fact, they're building back west. Really, from Salina to Leonard, or Leonard, whatever you want. Wolf City to Talco, Bogota, Lydia. We've got some storms on I-30 around Sulphur Springs to Yantis. None of these are severe. No tornadoes with this. They have maybe some small hail, gusty winds. They have heavy rain, and they definitely have a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. But at the moment, these are just your garden variety pop-up, wakey, eggs and bakey. I'm going to scare you half to death with a lightning strike outside your door. situation versus a big, bad, very mad, oh no, I'm going to blow your house down situation or break your skylights from hail. South of DFW, no, I'm not really worried about south of DFW this evening. We'll have storms way down in South Texas Saturday morning, but that's not a south of DFW problem. So again, Northeast Texas, here you go. We're just keeping an eye on this activity and saying yo, yo, yo. And all this is going to be moving off to the east. Again, about, 25, 30 miles an hour. And then this activity out here in the magical land of Northwest Texas, again, is moving mostly off to the southeast. About 25 to 30 miles an hour. And we are also monitoring this activity. Southwest of Vernon, south of Chillicothe, moving southwest towards Margaret. I did say southwest. Crowell and Ford City. It'll be crossing over Highway 70 near Crowell and then ride down Highway 6. But again, these storms that are up here in parts of northwest Texas, western Texoma, do have the potential for up to golf ball size hail and quite a bit of cloud-to-ground lightning. Yeah, we can pop that up. Let's see it. You can see this camera here in Wichita Falls. I'll go ahead and take that off. You can see quite a bit of lightning with those storms. And again, this is in Wichita Falls there at 287 and 281. And you can see it is even picking up some of that storm structure. So again, all these storms are going to be very electrical. We are most definitely in that time of year where these things are generating a crazy amount of cloud-to-ground lightning. And even the storms out in parts of northeast Texas, they're going to have a lot of lightning as well. Congrats, Bob. Storm out here, moving into Montague County, Nocona to Bowie. Y'all are getting lightning strikes out 30 miles south of this storm, ahead of the storm. Farmer Juve, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. But again, y'all, we are not dealing with tornadoes. We're not doing that. We have some of these storms moving south and to western North Texas. They've got gusty winds, and those winds are going to arrive a good half hour maybe before the rain. And some of these are dropping hail, up to golf ball size hail. The general expectation is these are going to
The National Weather Service
as they move southeast,
especially
severe
thunderstorm warning for
Cotton and Tillman County in Oklahoma, Archer,
across
Wichita,
Highway
and Wilbarga County in Texas.
380. And you can see a new severe thunderstorm warning just been issued. That does include Wichita Falls, Holiday. And, just as quickly as that hail core came up, guess what? It's come back down. So the last warning was for tennis ball size hail. Now we're dealing with back to about $half size, inch and a quarter. So again, severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to include Burke Burnett, Electra, Holiday, Lakeside City, Iowa Park, Mankins, Cadane Corner, Lakeside City to Wichita Falls, Shepherd Air Force Base, and that's with these storms moving on to the south at about 25 to 30 miles an hour with wind gusts over 60 miles an hour possible, and some hail. Storm farther east, about to cross into Montague County. This storm is still showing a pretty good hail core. Those of you around Nocona to Bonita, St. Joe, heads up, this thing's still showing a pretty good hail core. It could be larger than golf ball size hail with this activity as it moves off to the southeast at about 30 miles an hour. And those gusty winds are going to arrive quite a bit ahead of the storms. We have some storms out in northeast Texas and north Texas. Looks like we actually have some activity popping up here in DFW. And again, all these little pop-ups here are producing a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. If I can get the lightning stuff to work on here for y'all, I will try to show that. Give me just a second. I'm going to pop the ceiling fan on. And again, we have no tornadoes. We have, nothing like that. If we did, trust me, I'd be hyped. But we're definitely going to be keeping a close eye on things, with some risk of hail, heavy rain, etc. Alright, let's see if I can't get this to work.
The National Weather Service
Alma,
has
thanks
issued
for
a
being
new
a
severe
member
thunderstorm
here.
warning for
And what we're
Jefferson
dealing with,
and Love County in Oklahoma.
Wichita
Clay County
Falls,
in
you're going to be
Texas.
dealing with quite a bit of storm activity here in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Could be up to some quarter-size hail, quite a bit of cloud-to-ground lightning, and heavy rain. You've already got the gusty winds. No tornadoes, nothing like that, thankfully. Lightning data is actually working tonight. Wow, look at that. And again, you can see just how annoyingly frequent all this cloud-to-ground lightning is. All these little icons. You can see even back here in DFW. Collin County, from Salina to Anna, Melissa to Blue Ridge. These storms are shooting lightning off no problemo. In fact, McKinney, y'all just got attacked by a lightning strike, so good evening. Again, these storms in northeast Texas, there is a lot of lightning. No tornadoes, no big hail, no crazy damaging winds. They're not even what we consider severe right now. Severe is 1 inch in diameter size hail or larger, wind gusts of 58 miles an hour or higher, and tornadoes. None of that with these storms right now. Now, is it possible these storms in northeast Texas, a few could produce hail close to the size of quarters? Yes, but they're definitely not right now. So they're loud, they're proud, but they do not have crazy nonsense going on in the sense of hail, tornadoes, etc. So it's 10 p.m. Good evening and welcome. It is the 8th of May, 2026. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Boldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We've got a pretty nasty cluster of storms moving south in northwest Texas this evening. Wichita Falls under a severe thunderstorm warning. Same for Electra, Burke-Burnett. Out to places like Nocona, St. Joe, and southwest towards Crowd. These storms mostly moving south, about 25 to 30 miles an hour, with some pockets of hail up to golf balls, and localized damaging wind gusts over 50 to 60 miles an hour possible, in addition to a crazy amount of cloud-to-ground lightning. That's what you're looking at here. By the way, just all this lightning. There's definitely a lot of it. So here's a look at the higher res radar. Again, we're watching that lightning on that camera. These cameras are looking through Wichita Falls. Bottom right camera for sure. You can see that. And as these storms move southeast through Wichita Falls, I expect we'll be seeing a lot more lightning. So again, Burke-Burnett, you're getting some pretty good winds right now. Straight line winds, probably about, 40, 50 miles an hour. So these things have quite a bit of wind with them. We have plenty of lightning, and we have a copious amount of heavy rain and some hail up to maybe the size of a quarter, maybe a little bit higher. These storms moving south-southeast. And again, the overall expectation, and I say expectation loosely because Mother Nature is mean and hateful, and will do whatever Mother Nature wants, is that these storms are going to be weakening as they get down to Highway 380 here, across western sections of the DFW Metroplex out here to western North Texas. So places like Decatur, Jacksboro, Archer City, Graham, Olney, maybe Throckmorton. Y'all may get storms later. And they may have some strong winds, heavy rain, and pocket change size hail. And then out here in portions of northeast Texas, now even extending back towards DFW, you can see we've had some thunderstorms get on going here from places like Collin County, Hunt County, Fannin County, out to Delta, Hopkins, Rains counties, Franklin, Red River, Titus, Morris, Bowie, and Cass counties. Those are not severe. They have small hail, a lot of lightning and thunder, heavy rain, and that's it. So we're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing the whole, northeast Texas trying to get hit with softballs. Nothing like that. These are just some good old storms with a good old amount of lightning. But guess what? Lightning is frightening, and when thunder roars, it's time to get your keys to indoors. There may be some pea to dime size hail with this activity as well. Now, what we are going to have to watch for is if we get enough of these storms out here tonight, there is a chance they may actually try to grow into a cluster that starts moving southeast, which we're going to watch for carefully. Let's take a look at the sky cameras out of Wichita Falls. And again, quite a lightning show with this activity. You can see off there in the distance. We're going to do real quick while y'all get to enjoy that little lightning show is we're going to pop on over. We're going to take a look at the super duper high resolution rapid refresh model going into the overnight hours and Saturday morning to answer some of y'all's questions. And with that, let's load that data up. And let the yawning begin. All right, so I'm going to run this from midnight through 9 a.m. And yes, I am going to switch it back over so y'all can watch. So this is what this model shows, and it's worth noting this model is not necessarily doing well with the stuff across western North Texas. It does try to develop that activity in northeast Texas and kind of shove it into Louisiana here by midnight to 1 a.m. We'll have to watch it, but the expectation is this stuff from Oklahoma into western North Texas is probably going to be dissipating, hopefully, by midnight to 1 a.m. as it makes its way down to 380. It may make it south of 380. At this point, the risk for this cluster northwest of DFW to make it into core DFW, it's not a guarantee. If it does, it should be weakening. And again, here's a look at the radar overall. You can see the cluster of storms moving south out of Oklahoma. And for the most part, it is weaker than it was in Oklahoma. We're not dealing with baseball-sized hail or tornado warnings. But, we still have gusty winds. We have heavy rain. We do have some pocket change size hail. And then with that activity now in northeast Texas, we definitely have a lot of lightning, some small hail, heavy rain. And again, the lightning with all this is going to be pretty impressive. We do know we did get a 2-inch hail report out of Chillicothe there on Highway 287, northwest of Vernon, with that westernmost storm that came rolling south. But again, those of you in McKinney, yeah, you got some lightning nearby. You got a storm popping up pretty quick there northwest of McKinney. Out closer towards Prosper and Salina. That is going to be moving east-southeast with maybe some small hail, so it's about to rain in McKinney. And again, all these little storms popping up. Again, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. And when thunder roars, it's time to get indoors. So let's go ahead and go over our current severe thunderstorm warning, shall we? We have a severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect for Montague County. This does include Nocona, St. Joe. That includes the community of Montague, Stoneburg, Ringgold. That storm is capable of producing quarter to maybe golf ball size hail, moving off to the south-southeast about 25 miles per hour. I'm going to put a loop on here so y'all can actually see that in motion. We have some storms from near Byers to Petrolia about to move into Henrietta. Those could have some gusty winds and heavy rain. Those of you in Burke Burnett, it's storming, it's pouring. Hail core's weakened, thankfully, so those of you in Wichita Falls, I think the worst is going to probably be some heavy rain, gusty winds, lightning. And then out towards Haynesville and Electra, that's where there is a bit more of a hail core showing up now, and there could be some hail up to the size of quarters out there. Otherwise, storm that dropped 2-inch diameter size hail size of an Easter egg out in Chillicothe has rapidly weakened. It's now moving across Highway 70, about to cross over Highway 6 near Crowell, west of Thalia, southwest of Lockett, near Margaret. So that's just one of those good old garden variety storms right now. We do have a storm in Burke Burnett. Again, you've got some pretty good winds in Burke Burnett right now. We'll switch over to the which way the wind's blowing mode. And this is a good way just to show you. We've got a pretty good surge of winds approaching 60 miles an hour out here west of Burke Burnett right now. That's going to be closer to Electra and Haynesville. That'll be crossing over 287 around Electra over the next several minutes. So again, some locally damaging winds possible that could attempt to cause some issues with the power. We'll be watching for that. But otherwise, those of you in Wichita Falls, get ready for a good old downpour. Now, let's take a look out in DFW. Again, we do have a storm that's popped up here west of McKinney. Hey, Carla, thanks for that membership gift. And everyone, big congratulations on if you've become a member now. And a big thank you to Carla, to her in the YouTube chat for supplying those 5 memberships. Welcome. Head over to the community section, and we've got some instructions on how you can join the Discord server. So we've got storms in Prosper, Salina, Anna, Blue Ridge. All those are moving to the east. I'll switch over to this so y'all can actually see that. And I'll turn off those storm tracks. They're kind of having a ADHD nightmare. You can see we've got plenty of storms now, from Wolf City to Greenville to Lake Tawakoni. No hail for y'all, though, this time on the lake. Rain with lightning all the way east through Campbell, Cumbie, Sulphur Springs, Brashear, Saltillo, Mount Vernon, Pearlie, up to Talco, Sims, to Maud and Domino out here in northeast Texas. And again, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning with this. I can turn the lightning marker back on, and you'll see we have plenty of lightning. Craig, thanks very much for that super chat. And yeah, you got quite a pop-up storm over you. Could have some very small hail, but otherwise expect a quick downpour and a whole lot of that very obnoxious cloud-to-ground lightning. Den, there's not a thing going on right now. And at this point, those storms would stay to your west. But again, northeast Texas, there's nothing severe right now. It's rain, lightning. That's it. Rain and lightning. Looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Baylor and Wilbarga County in Texas.
It's going to be for this small section of the storm out here, southeast of Vernon, west of Electra. They just went ahead and kind of extended that severe warning a little farther west. So again, that's around Electra. Starting to see a little more of a hail signature near Prosper right now in the storm aloft. I'll go ahead and put a little 3D view, and again, this is just the storm in Collin County, just taking a look, and you can see it is pretty tall. Well, comparatively, I mean, it's 30 to 40,000 feet tall. The storms in Oklahoma earlier were 65,000 feet. So you can see there's very small hail aloft, most likely just some very heavy rain. Not a big hail core that is trying to sit aloft right now, but it's something we could keep an eye on. And again, that's this storm out over Prosper right now, west of McKinney. That'll be moving off to the east. In fact, I'll try to get some cameras set up here. See if we can't get some cameras of this lightning show. Out here in DFW, Northeast Texas. But again, the storms in Northeast Texas and DFW are not severe. They're not producing any big hail, no tornadoes, no damaging winds. Just a whole lot of lightning. I'm getting some cameras set up now so we can watch that lightning show. But again, the storms from DFW to Northeast Texas are going to be moving off mostly to the east, maybe a little east-southeast, about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And again, there's nothing crazy with them at the moment in the sense of, you know, tornadoes, big crazy hail, destructive winds, etc. Top camera is going to be McKinney. Middle camera is Sulphur Springs. Bottom right camera is going to be Wichita Falls, though we'll go ahead and change that to the one that was getting that lightning show. Now, out here near Seymour. Seymour, honestly, yeah, keep an eye on the stuff coming in from up closer to Electra, but at this point, it would be about quarter-size hail, if that. The storms overall are mostly weakening. The strongest storm up here is probably in the wind department is going to be this one between Electra and Burke Burnett, closer to Electra. That could have some wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. Some pretty strong winds going through Wichita Falls right now with some of those heavy rain bands. Could begin some 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. Same thing at Shepherd Air Force Base with some small hail. Could be some slightly bigger hail with this storm just north of Tacoma as it moves south through Montague County. And again, all this activity is going to keep on moving south-southeast at about 25 miles an hour. These storms should be weakening as they get down to Highway 380. If Mineral Wells ends up getting anything tonight, it would likely be a weakening thunderstorm with some lightning, gusty winds, and brief rain. I'm not expecting tornadoes, big hail, or anything like that in Mineral Wells tonight, or the area around Springtown. Runaway Bay, you may get some storms. This green blob you're looking at, that's just a lot of the low-level clutter. Bugs, essentially, flying around. It's not actually precipitating. I can look up and tilt, and yeah, it's just a lot of ground clutter. We see it more commonly when we have, well, spring and summer months, when the bugs start flying around again. But that's all it is. It's not even rain. Now, up here, you can see this thing here on the east sides of Prosper, back to the west sides of McKinney here on Highway 380. Definitely quite a abhorrent amount of lightning with this. You can see this thing just going yippity, yippity, yippity-yay in the lightning department. Y'all are getting pelted with cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. And knowing the propensity of houses out there with those really tall roofs, there's probably a lot of things getting set on fire right now by the lightning. I have no doubt if I were to pull DFW scanner up, they'd probably start having some fire posts here pretty quick. But yeah, that storm is going to be the heaviest rain right now, over 2478, more like at Custer Road there at 380. Moving east towards Lake Forest Drive. And again, there could be some small hail with this. but just a lot of heavy rain, cloud to ground lightning. Same with all these storms out here in northeast Texas this evening. Again, we're not dealing with tornadoes. We're not dealing with big hail. We're not dealing with damaging winds with any of this activity right now from Collin County and DFW all the way east through northeast Texas. So northeast Texas, you can see, well, there you go. We've got pop-up shower and storms across northeast Texas. Nothing severe with that. Again, just a lot of cloud to ground lightning, heavy rain, and some small hail, if that, and gusty winds. But these are just some big old thunderstormies shooting out lightning galore. Top right camera is going to be McKinney. Middle camera is Sulphur Springs out here on I-30. Bottom camera is going to be Wichita Falls. I'm just trying something here. You can see there's lightning in all of them. So all these storms have plenty of cloud to ground lightning this evening. And that's going to continue. I mean, it is May in Texas, so if we get storms, they most definitely are going to have a lot of cloud to ground lightning with them. Preston, thank you very much for that super chat. Super chats. What I'm going to actually try to do real quick is flip this camera image around, so maybe, just maybe, when I look to the right, it actually does that. That's probably going to be another day, another dollar. So again, good evening everyone watching. These storms from McKinney to northeast Texas are not severe. They have a lot of cloud to ground lightning. They have pea-size hail, so a 1/4 inch, and some gusty winds and heavy rain. That's it with this stuff in northeast Texas right now. I don't expect a big change with that. Out here in northwest Texas, this line of showers and storms moving south across Wichita Falls to Electra, Iowa Park. Getting a good amount of wind with that right now. Could be some wind gusts over 60 miles an hour in spots. Those storms are currently moving off to the south, about 30 miles an hour. Could have a hail core around Nocona right now. That storm, as it moves south, looks like it'll stay east of Bowie. It's moved right towards the community of Montague here at the intersection of 175 and 59. Bowie, I'd expect some rain, gusty winds, and lightning. It's raining right now in Henrietta, Ringgold, Jolly, Dean, Petrolia, Byers, you're done. This activity out here, moving south towards places like Archer City, Graham, Jacksboro, the overall expectation is this stuff should be weakening as it makes it down to Highway 380 over the next hour or two. So I don't expect a big renewed threat of big, bad, very mad, severe storms. Right now, these storms out here, I would say, are more of your garden variety severe storms in the sense they have some winds of 50 to 55, maybe 60 miles an hour in spots. They have some dime, nickel to maybe quarter-size hail in spots, but most folks are just going to get some 40-mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain, and a lot of lightning. I mean, there's plenty of lightning, but it's May in Texas, so, I mean, you get a thunderstorm in May in Texas all the way through August at this point. It's going to be shooting lightning out the wazoo. But the expectation is no, we're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing, crazy baseball-size hail. We're not doing the 100-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I do need to add labels to these. Top right camera is McKinney. Middle camera is Sulphur Springs. Bottom camera is Wichita Falls. My apologies, that is me. So, you can see the McKinney camera's having a buffering problem. It's funny, you'd think the one camera in the middle of the Metroplex would actually have some good signal, but Sulphur Springs is getting a good signal. Y'all in Sulphur Springs must have some good internet connectivity. It's definitely not on my end. I'm on a symmetrical gigabit fiber line here. Here. This is 75 in Stacy and McKinney, so that camera looks a little more stable. Sulphur Springs camera clearly is having fun, and then bottom right, Wichita Falls, it's raining, and clearly I'm losing my ability to make coherent words without bringing out the speech impediments. So again, at Nocona right now, radar estimated we had about 1-inch diameter size hail. So far, the biggest out of Nocona we've heard about is a 1/4 inch. Henrietta, it's raining. It's raining and storming in Wichita Falls, though that'll be ending here pretty quick. It's still windy. Electra, same thing. You're probably getting some very heavy rain, maybe some hail up to the size of 1/4, some strong winds. And all that's going to keep moving south. You can see the storm that was southwest of Vernon near Crowell is going adios, Omazawa, Beater, Zane, bye-bye. We could see some street flooding issues up here around Wichita Falls, by the way. Y'all have some flooding issues usually pretty easily, so you could get a quick inch or two of this. DFW, storms around McKinney are shooting out off lightning like there's no tomorrow, but otherwise no severe weather. Did just get a report of 1/2-inch size hail on the east sides of Preston there with this thunderstorm that has popped up east of Prosper, west sides of McKinney. And again, you can see these came out of nowhere. So maybe some small hail. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning for sure. And the same thing goes with all this activity in northeast Texas. Again, we're going to have a lot of lightning, small hail, gusty winds. There's no tornadoes. There's no crazy big hail. No, hurricane force knocked down half the city's power grid situation. But guess what? Lightning is frightening. And when thunder roars, it's time to go indoors. And yeah, these are very loud, obnoxious storms. I mean, look at all these lightning strikes. You might not be able to easily see them, but there is a lot of lightning. So keep an eye out on that. And this activity will keep moving east over the next several hours, so it may be storming into the overnight in northeast Texas. For DFW right now, DFW, the only storms we have are here in Collin County. They're the pop-up variety that just go whoop and start shooting out lightning. They have some small hail. They have gusty winds, maybe of 30 to 40 miles an hour, a lot of lightning, and brief heavy rain. No tornadoes, no big hail, etc.
The National Weather
Denton
Service
County, there's
has
nothing
issued
going
a new
on.
severe
Dallas,
thunderstorm
Tarrant
warning
counties,
for
there's nothing
Montague
going on.
County in Texas.
Bowie, Bowie, I don't think you're going to have a big issue with this. You're going to get some rain, some lightning, gusty winds. This new severe thunderstorm warning up here in eastern Montague County, this is going to be a small extension that includes St. Joe, the community of Montague, for maybe some hail up to the size of quarters. Wind gust up to 60 miles an hour. That includes Bonita, St. Joe, and Montague. Gainesville, there's nothing going on. Wichita Falls, it'll be over probably by 10:45. Wolf City, you may end up having storms for the next few hours in your area, but I'm not expecting a significant severe weather threat in the sense of big hail, damaging winds, or tornadoes. Oh, excuse me. Another warning coming out, eh? Well, let's just see what Mama Nature has to say. Would have been a good time for this thing to talk over me, but it did not. Oh, look at that, Henrietta. You get your own warning after all.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Archer, Clay, and Wichita County in Texas.
So the Weather Service, just to annoy me, has gone ahead and put a severe thunderstorm warning out here for Clay County. This does include Jolly and Henrietta. Storm near Henrietta may have a bit of hail now, nickel to quarter size hail, and localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. Maybe. But again, we're not doing the tornado thing. We're not doing the whole big, bad, very mad baseball size hail thing. We're not doing the whole hurricane force wind thing. We're just doing some pretty rowdy thunderstorms. Strong winds, heavy rain, and lightning. Because lightning is frightening. Middle camera is Sulphur Springs. Bottom camera is Wichita Falls. Top camera, hopefully, will be McKinney again shortly. But apparently, the TechStock cameras up there are having a hissy fit. We'll leave this one on. This one could give a cool view. This is down in 75 in Bethany there. In the Allen area. Might be technically Fairview, but... Ooh, look at that light in Sulphur Springs. So again, this is Sulphur Springs out here on Interstate 30. You can see it's pouring rain, the roads are wet. It's not a pleasant place to drive when the roads are dry. And there's lightning. Here's Wichita Falls. You can see it's storming, it's pouring. Y'all need the rain, so that's good. Just keep an eye out on the roads for street flooding. You can see there's lightning. And here's the view out of Allen and Fairview at 75 in Bethany, looking north-northwest. I am actually a little surprised at the lack of lightning here. So, yeah, all these storms are going to be trying to set stuff on fire in terms of hidden buildings with lightning, unfortunately. Just the way it goes, but we'll be keeping a close eye on things for sure. And again, most of these storms, well, the ones out here, from Nocona to Henrietta to Wichita Falls, Holiday to Electra, are moving south at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Again, you can see all these just have an obnoxious amount of cloud-to-ground lightning with them. So this is what we have in northwest Texas right now, western North Texas. We have a scattered line of thunderstorms moving south at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. That activity is going to be making its way down towards places like Bellevue, Archer City, with a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, some gusty winds over 60 miles an hour in spots, and let's see, pocket change size hail, heavy rain, lightning, strong winds. Covered it, right? At this point, it's not coming to DFW. DFW has its own little stormies that have popped up, and these are not severe. This activity, again, is going to be moving off to the east. McKinney, you've got a storm rolling in. It looks a bit weaker than it did earlier. I dropped some half-inch hail. In Prosper, those of you in Farmersville to Greenville, you've got storms. Again, just a lot of storms right now in northeast Texas. None of them are producing hail that is quarter size or larger, winds of 58 miles an hour higher, or tornadoes. There's nothing severe with this right now. So if you're anywhere from McKinney to Texarkana, Sulphur Springs, Greenville, Mount Pleasant, Bogota, and coming on here and thinking, we got a problem, you got lightning, you got some locally heavy rain, and that is it. No doubt the storms are loud. I mean, they are loud and they are proud. But we're not doing the whole spinny, doom. We're not doing the whole try to drop softballs on your house. We're not doing any of that. These are just typical guard variety thunderstorms. So northeast Texas, you're okay. I know it's storming, but you're okay. Now, out here in parts of western North Texas, keeping an eye on these thunderstorms. And you can see that we do still have a line of storms extending from north of Maybell, southwest of Electra, to Mankins, Holiday, Lakeside City, to Henrietta, to Ringgold, Dacona, to Montague, and St. Joe. This activity is going to be moving southeast, south-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And some of these storms are producing locally damaging winds of 60 to 65 miles per hour, some quarter-size hail, and a whole lot of cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy rain. The overall expectation is these storms should be weakening by the time they get down to Highway 380. But we'll see. On the present trajectory, that means, yes, those of you in places like Decatur, Jacksboro, Graham, to Throckmorton, yeah, keep an eye on it. I mean, even those of you in Denton probably should keep an eye on these storms to your northwest. Now, I don't expect them to be producing baseball-size hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds, or tornadoes when they get down to 380, but there's still going to be some pretty obnoxious lightning. Could be strong winds, could still have some pocket change size hail and heavy rain. The wind element definitely could be an issue for areas that are just dealing with damage still from the last few weeks. A lot of that debris could get blown around even by 40-mile-an-hour winds. So we'll have to be mindful of that. But this is not a situation where we're dealing with baseballs, 90-mile-an-hour winds, or tornadoes. That's not on the bingo card this evening. We have lightning, we have heavy rain, we have pocket change size hail, we have strong to locally damaging winds. With this cluster, again, from the Wichita Falls and Electra area to Henrietta to Montague to St. Joe and Bonita. That is the western North Texas storms. The eastern North Texas storms, northeast Texas, none of these storms are severe. We're not doing big hail. We're not doing damaging winds. We're doing the lightning is frightening routine. We're doing the try to wake up half the town with obnoxious lightning, and we have heavy rain. When thunder roars, it's time to get your keister indoors. We don't want you getting electrocuted by a lightning strike. And by the electrocuted is a nice way of putting getting toasted. and roasted. So when thunder roars, get your keister indoors. Those of you in Allen, you have a thunderstorm just to your north. You're getting some lightning for sure in Allen. You might get a quick round of rain, but this storm in McKinney is weakening. Farmersville, you've got a little storm just to your southeast. And again, all of these pop-ups are producing plenty of cloud-to-ground lightning. Yeah, the little microphone is floating, isn't it? There you go. Yeah, it's my little flown microphone. Reed, thanks for the report of pea-size hail in South Sulphur Springs. And yeah, all these storms, the more rowdy ones definitely could have some very small hail out here in northeast Texas. But again, we're not doing the whole big, bad, very mad softballs of doom routine. Now, taking a quick look, let's pop to this. This is the Storm Prediction Center outlook for Sunday. Ignore the lightning bolts of doom. Our next big, bad, very mad issue on a larger scale looks to be Sunday afternoon to Sunday night. I think we're going to get a southward moving line of thunderstorms. We could have some pretty strong winds with that and the potential for hail. Sunday's not looking like a tornado day. I think we're going to have a lot of wind and some hail. So we're probably going to have some rowdy storms Sunday. But again, that's more of a big cluster of storms that'll be moving south with wind, heavy rain, some hail, and lightning. Tomorrow, we might be dealing with kind of what we're dealing with tonight, northwest Texas, a cluster of storms in Oklahoma that might move south into western North Texas. But otherwise, the possibility of morning and afternoon thunderstorms across the southeastern half of Texas with some hail and locally damaging winds. So that's tomorrow. And then tonight, well, we've got two areas we're watching. Area 1 is going to be up here from Electra to Holiday, Henrietta to Nakona, moving south at about 30 miles an hour. Area 2, that's going to be all these obnoxious little pop-up storms from McKinney to Greenville to Sulphur Springs, Winsboro to Mount Pleasant to Marietta to Linden to Texarkana. Those are mostly moving east at about, 20 to 25 with lightning and heavy rain. That's it for these storms out here, and maybe some small hail. Yeah, don't let Nightbot get anybody worked up. Nightbot just does what Nightbot does. So this activity up here in northwest Texas, we have this cluster of storms moving south, essentially, right? And you can see, actually, what I'm going to show you here, this green line. That's your outflow boundary. That's your rain-cooled air. And you can see how far south of all these storms that is. These storms are behind that rain-cooled boundary. So we're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing, crazy big hail or super-duper mega wind. These storms will slowly be weakening over the next couple of hours as they move south. They'll probably make it down to 380 in the next hour or two. Hopefully just on a slow weakening trend. They're still capable of producing, some pocket change size hail, maybe even up to quarters. Localized wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. But no tornadoes. We're not doing baseball size hail or anything like that. Top camera is Allen, south of McKinney. Middle camera is going to be Sulphur Springs on I-30. Bottom camera is going to be Wichita Falls. Reality City, thank you very much for that super chat. Appreciate it. Again, we're just keeping an eye on this stuff. We have no tornado warnings. We're not doing crazy. Oh, we're about to have a new severe warning, though. We're not doing crazy big hail. We're not doing, mega hurricane
The
wind.
National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Archer, Baylor, Clay, Wichita, and Wilbarger County in Texas.
You'll see it pop up here in a second, but the Weather Service has gone ahead and put out a fairly large severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-size hail, that's 1 inch in diameter, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. You can see that it encompasses the line of storms all the way from Vernon to Harold, Electra, Iowa Park, south of Wichita Falls, to Henrietta. Those storms, again, are moving south at about 25 miles per hour. So with that, again, severe thunderstorm warning. I'll go ahead and just read the warning because why not? Until 11:30 p.m. for Clay, Archer, Wichita, Wilbarger, and Baylor counties in northwest Texas. At 10:44 p.m., severe storms are located along a line from 7 miles south of Grayback to 7 miles southeast of Holiday to near Henrietta, moving south at 25 miles per hour. This includes Wichita Falls, Henrietta, Seymour, Archer City, Iowa Park, Electra, Holiday, Scotland, Dean, Windthirst, Bellevue, Jolly, Lake Diversion, Westover, Belgrove, Maybell, Minkins, Red Springs, and Lake Arrowhead. Levi, thanks for that super chat, and you bet. Jenna, big shout out to ya. Y'all stay safe. The storms are loud, the storms are proud, but they're mostly more bark than bite. Out here in northeast Texas and North Texas, these storms, again, we're not doing anything severe out here. They have cloud-to-ground lightning. They have some locally heavy rain, maybe some very small hail. That's it. No tornadoes, no big, bad, very mad, damaging winds, no try to smash your sunroof situation. But there is lightning. And my foot, sorry. I'm sure some of you would have enjoyed that. So, with that, this activity from roughly McKinney and Allen east along 380 and I-30 through Greenville, Sulphur Springs, Como, Yantis, Winsboro to Dangerfield, Douglasville, Atlanta, and Linden is moving east. There's nothing severe with that. There's some small hail, if that, a quarter inch. 40-mile-an-hour winds, cloud-to-ground lightning. There's a lot of lightning. There's no doubt about that, but lightning does not make a thunderstorm severe by definition. Severe storm has to have 1 inch diameter size hail or larger. That's quarters. Wind gusts of about 60 miles an hour or higher, and or a tornado. None of that is happening with these storms, and really shouldn't. It's not totally zero in terms of some bigger hail, but otherwise, out here, we do have a line of thunderstormies making their way south from, again, north of Maybell to Mankins to Scotland, south of Wichita Falls to Henrietta, Ringgold to Montague and St. Joe, moving south-southeast about 25 miles an hour with locally high winds up to 60 miles an hour and some quarter-size hail. If these storms do continue on their track over the next, you know what, let's just do this. We'll do a time track. At some point, they're going to weaken and die, much like my hairline. We're just going to put a big old brush on this. Got to draw that again. So again, we're just going to say, I'm going to do 28 miles an hour. It makes me happy. So again, this is just an estimate, right? Decatur, about 11:45 to 11:50. Jacksboro, 11:55 to midnight. Graham, about 12:15. Olney, 11:30. Archer City, probably in the next 15 minutes. This would make it down to Runaway Bay around 11:45 to 11:50. Gusty winds could arrive before that. Azle, about 12:35. Springtown, about 12:25. North of Mineral Wells, around 12:30. This would be near Den, probably around midnight, maybe a bit sooner if it makes it that far to the east. Decatur, again, about 11:45. Alvord, 11:25. Newcastle, about midnight. Again, Springtown, about 12:25. If it makes it that far south and southeast. Woodson, about 12:30. So that's just a general guesstimate. And again, Den, this thing may try to make it a little farther southeast towards Den, and if it does, yeah, y'all from Den West may have a bit of a stormy issue, with maybe some pocket change size, hail, lightning, etc. Otherwise, this stuff out here in East Texas, or Northeast Texas, is generally moving off to the east at about 20 miles an hour with the potential of a lot of lightning, small hail, and gusty winds, plus heavy rain. One heck of a lightning show, but there's nothing severe with these storms out here. The strongest storm relatively is near Winnsboro, maybe some half-inch size hail. The only severe warnings we have, though, in the state of Texas, again, it's going to be this activity right now near Montague to Scotland to north of Maybell. Wichita Falls, you're done. It's still raining, but you're done with the severe issue. You're still getting pelted with lightning, but Vernon, you're done. Electra, you're done. Nakona, you're done. Ringgold, it's just kind of west of you, but you're mostly done. Henrietta, you're be done by probably 11:10. So again, this all is just going to be moving off to the south-southeast at about 20 miles per hour. And again, we're going to be here to help keep an eye on these storms as they continue making their way southeast this evening. So what we are going to do is I'm going to do something. Now, we haven't done it too much this year yet, but in this case I am. Since we're going to be here for a good chunk of the evening, we don't have any big, bad, severe. We're going to take about an 8-minute break. I'll leave the cameras up. You'll have this same feed, the music. You're just not going to hear me for about 8 minutes. And then we'll be back here at 11 p.m. Central with your next update, or sooner if necessary. So let me just get this set up on my end. And again, this feed's not going anywhere. You're just going to get a few minutes of music versus me chit-chatting. And we'll be here. So we'll be back here in about 8 minutes with your next severe weather update. Stay tuned. And I'll admit, I don't know where the music file went, so I'm just going to talk for another minute or two. We'll get her fixed. But again, these storms are going to keep moving, well, the ones northwest of DFW moving southeast. They're slowly going to weaken over the next hour or two. And then activity northeast of DFW is going to be making its way to the east, east-southeast with a bit of hail. Well, not even really any hail, small hail. And a lot of cloud to ground lightning. All right. So we'll get some music going here. And we'll plan on me being back here at 11:05 with your next update. Stream's still going to be here. I'm going to still be here. I'm still going to be in chats. I'm just not going to be talking. And again, if something happens here before then, we'll be back. But we'll keep an eye on the sky. Thanks for staying with us, y'all.
National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Camp, Franklin, Morris, Upshur, and Wood County in Texas.
We'll go ahead and come back here and talk about the latest of what we have going on. So, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for one of these northeast Texas storms. I do want to emphasize this is not a damaging wind issue, not a tornado issue. It's one of these storms that has perked up just a wee bit with the potential of maybe some hail up to the size of quarters. We'll go ahead and pop on the radar here. Again, this is going to be a severe thunderstorm that is southeast of Winsboro, moving off to the east-southeast at about 25 miles per hour. So that we're not doing tornadoes, we're not doing crazy damaging winds. We have some nickel to maybe quarter-size hail. The storm's moving southeast again at about 30 miles an hour. So this warning includes Pittsburgh, Newsom, Betty, and Gilmer. And again, this is going to be for some maybe nickel to quarter size hail. We're not doing baseballs. I'll kill the music. We're not doing, tornadoes. We're not doing crazy, nasty wind, whatnot. So I'll give it a second. So again, we do have a severe storm now for some baseline hail, quarter-size hail, about 1 inch in diameter. And that's going to be moving off to the southeast at about 30 miles an hour. So that includes places, well, right now, Newsom. It's going to be moving off to the southeast towards Pittsburgh, Betty, and Gilmer there on Highway 271. As this activity continues, moving off to the southeast, about 30 miles an hour. So again, there may be some nickel to quarter-size hail, about 1 inch in diameter. And this will be crossing over Highway 280 or 271 around 11:35 to 11:40. Probably a bit south of Pittsburgh, closer to Betty. And again, it could have maybe quarter-size hail. 1 inch in diameter. And if that storm has it, realistically, probably the one near Como, southeast Sulphur Springs, does too. I don't expect these to be like long-lived, big, bad, very mad hailers. Again, most of these storms have small hail, a lot of lightning, and heavy rain. So, as that continues, this activity will be moving off to, again, the east-southeast. And here's a loop, again, just showing that. So again, even though there is a severe thunderstorm warning for maybe some nickel to quarter size hail, it is all going to be okie dokie. There is a lot of cloud to ground lightning. I can pop that back on here and show you. There's lightning, and lightning is frightening. There's lightning from this activity all the way from near Lone Oak and Sulphur Springs, all the way east through Como, Yantis, Winsboro to Pittsburgh. Dangerfield just got a cloud of ground lightning strike. Gonna have a new severe warning coming out in a moment. And that continues all the way to places like Linden and Atlanta. So again, that is one severe thunderstorm warning.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Hopkins County in Texas.
For those of you in the chat, sometimes some folks have the live stream lagging a couple minutes, so, you know, some might still be saying they hear music or can't hear me. It might just be their stream's a couple minutes delayed, which is why you always want to keep an eye on that timestamp on the top left side of the stream. That is real time. And we did add the date now. Some people want me to add a date, so we did that. Easy peasy, right? So it is 11:08 and 28 seconds now. So back up here into portions of western North Texas. And, oh, that was a warning out here. I'm sorry. I'm too tired. So yeah, like I said, the storm near Como, if this one near Winsboro was severe, the one near Como probably had some near quarter-size hail as well. And that's, well, what we have. So we'll put the loop-de-loop-de back on. You can see we do still have some pretty rowdy-looking storms out here. Northeast to Seymour to near Maybell, over towards Archer City and Windthorst. No tornadoes this time with that, thankfully. Northwest of Bellevue, and then we have weakening storms around Bowie to Montague. Though we do have a storm perking up a bit just north of Bowie, so those of you in Bowie, you may end up getting some lightning out of this shortly. These storms out here, again, they're moving south about 30 miles an hour, 20 to 30. The potential for some hail up to the size of quarters and localized damaging wind gusts in spots over 60 miles per hour. With that, so again, out here in portions of eastern North Texas and northeast Texas, a couple of storms now with maybe some hail up to near quarters. South of Mount Vernon from southeast of Sulphur Springs. There on Highway 11 from Como to Winsboro to Pittsburgh. All that's going to be moving off the southeast. East-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. More to the east, really. And again, there is a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning with this. A lot of heavy rain. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. But again, we're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing damaging winds. We're not doing crazy big baseball-sized hail. We just have a lot of lightning. These storms have plenty of locally heavy rain and pockets of small hail, with a couple of these, again, trying to pop off hail closer to the size of a quarter. Overall, though, still nothing like the storms we saw a couple weeks ago. Has it been a couple weeks? Yeah, I guess technically it has. You know, it was back in, what, late April? So y'all let us know where you're watching from this evening. And I'm not sure how long we're going to be here this evening. Again, we're not doing crazy, big, bad, very mad tornadoes. We're not doing, big, bad stuff like that. But these storms have a lot of lightning. They have some hail and strong winds. Out here, we're still keeping an eye on these storms. Starting to see a little bit of a hail core perk up a little bit more just west of Secret Springs here on Highway 148, east of Windthorst, south of Henrietta. And these storms are still moving south, about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And again, all these storms are going to have a lot of lightning this evening. We're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing baseball-size hail. And honestly, most of you in DFW, I don't think you're going to get anything tonight. This cluster west of DFW looks like it's going to hopefully stay west of DFW. We still expect it to be weakening as it approaches 380, and overall it has been slowly weakening. And then storms in northeast Texas are going to be moving away from DFW, and some of those may have some pocket change size hail. But for most of you in places like Fort Worth, Dallas, Denton, I don't expect severe storms tonight. Unless something really dumb happens, which, I mean, look, it always could. Mama Nature's Mama Nature. Mama Nature's a fickle thing. Y'all let us know how you like the warning scroll, by the way. We did some updates with that as well. I was able to get the county descriptors in, so now instead of just being county-based, it actually shows which part of the county. We got the wind and hail stuff in there as well. The scroll down there, by the way, yeah, we just, look, it's old school. Like you used to see on the TV stations, I guess you still do. It's just, I figure a way for folks to help maintain some situational awareness. We might eventually end up changing it over to a more modern style, like a lot of the other national streamers do. But for now, it's what we like. Sunday, no, I don't expect a lot of tornadic issues Sunday. Sunday looks like a cluster or a line of storms with some hail and a lot of wind. There is not anything going on near Prosper right now. Not a thing. Storms that were near Prosper earlier are gone. It's always interesting to see, too, because a lot of folks, in the chat, I mean, they're watching in real time. But there is some lag involved sometimes with some folks. Some folks may be watching 5 minutes ago, and others may be watching the stream from like an hour and a half ago. So it's always interesting to see that. But yeah, we're live on YouTube. And if we had tornado warnings or anything super crazy, we'd be live on everything else as well. But during these nights where we're monitoring storms, but they're not going mega crazy, we typically stick on to just YouTube. That's where we really try to build our audience these days. We have a very large audience on many social platforms, but it's usually YouTube that encourages the most out of the community. So that's why we're here. And again, we really thank everyone who's joined us. We love the fact we've had so many new folks join lately. We don't like the fact it's because of the bad weather, but we're happy folks have found us because, well, the more folks we have here, the more likely it is we're talking to folks who are dealing with the nasty weather. So, 180, it's going to be interesting. These storms, most data has indicated they're going to be weakening by the time they get down to 380. And, for the most part, they are. They have some hail and some strong winds. We're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing whatnot. But we'll see if they actually, fizzle out by the time they get south of 380 or if they keep pushing. It's always that question, where they're going to die. But no, in terms of real-time stream information, that's why we have that time up there. And, there's plenty of times I'm looking at something and watching a stream. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually not live. So that's why we put that up there. We even add the date, because apparently some people we're getting confused about dates somehow. But, it is what it is, right? So it's always good to hear suggestions and feedback. And if it's something we're able to, improve, we'll do it. I mean, we're always working on improvements, right? And yes, in times like this, I get chit-chatty. What can I say? Because really, we're not doing the tornado thing. We have rowdy storms with some hail. And for the most part, most of these storms are not being big, bad, very mad in the sense of big hail. Some of these storms do have pocket change size hail. Example, this stuff out here, Winnsboro, Tacoma, could have maybe hail up to the size of 1 inch in diameter. It's moving off to the east. So those of you in Newsom, out to Picton, you're getting maybe some hail right now. Pittsburgh, same thing, could be in the next 10 minutes. All this is moving east, about 20 miles an hour. And, just what we're doing. And again, we do the best we can. We're here for Texas. We're Texans giving Texas weather information, right? So that's what we prioritize, and that's all we're going to prioritize. We're here during times like this where no one else is streaming right now, right? We don't just pop on anymore for tornado warnings. We're here for fairly baseline severe warnings. So we appreciate it. And my goal is to be here more. I've got 12 modders around me, and as time goes on, oh boy, I can't talk. El De Leon, thanks for that super chat, and enjoy the cruise. Lucky. Storms in East Texas. Let me take a look at this data on my side real quick. I want to see if the HER model's doing any better. If it is, I'll show it. If not, well, I won't. The storms in East Texas, I think, are probably going to make their way towards Louisiana. They're moving more east than southeast, so they may not even make it south of Interstate 20 out here in East Texas, or at least far, before they make it into Arkansas, Louisiana. But, no, there is definitely plans in the works to help add more interactivity to this, more abilities. For example, for y'all to send in, pictures, videos, reports, and stuff that we can use in real time to see what's going on out there. I know, radar's a bucket of spilled paint, more ways to be interactive, and, that would be amazing, right? But as always, there's just a lot going on. I mean, for the most part, I don't have a lot of, we have plenty of storm chasers, right? And, when they're chasing in Texas and out and about, you'll see them, content from them. But in terms of the weather side, the coverage side, usually it's just me and, one other person behind the scenes, Jason Cooley, who handles a lot of the social media during that. But, on the development side, it's mostly just me in the sense of, building the products, getting it out. And I mean, my to-do list is a mile long. But, I take it seriously. And I just don't trust a lot of folks to be able to do this. Those of you in Den and Corinth, honestly, not really. I mean, unless you get a lucky pop-up storm, but no. Yeah, Sulphur Springs, all this out here in East Texas. Yeah, you can definitely still see we have all this stuff going on roughly now from Lone Oak to Yantis to Picton, Winnsboro, Newsom. That's moving east towards Ore City, Betty, and Lone Star. Sulphur Springs, you should be finally done with all this soon. Tomorrow, honestly, we're going to have some storms in the southeastern half of the state. of Texas, and then mostly tomorrow is going to be far eastern panhandle in Oklahoma. We can't rule out a few storms along the Red River in northwest Texas, but I'm hoping tomorrow's a less active day, northern half of the state. Sunday is going to be a busy day with a lot of storms with hail and wind. Not really too much of a tornado threat. But, well, yeah. We're still watching this cluster. My eyes, thank you very much for that super chat, and you're welcome. Yeah, Whitesboro, unless you get some random rain, I think y'all are done for the night. DFW South Lake, yeah, y'all should be fine. Watching this cluster out here from just east of Seymour, coming down towards Westover, Megagoal to north of Olney, Archer City to Windthorst. Still looking strong, honestly. Still has a decent little hail core. Definitely the potential for at least quarter-size hail, and this thing's going to pop a new warning here in a second, so this thing will interrupt me rudely, and then I'll stop talking, rub my eyes, and be like, good morning. But looks like they're saying up to maybe ping-pong balls in spots with this activity and localized winds over 60 miles an hour, and that's this cluster from Maybell east to Archer City to Windthorst.
The National Weather Service
south,
has issued a new severe
towards
thunderstorm
places like
warning
Newport,
for
Olney.
Archer, Baylor, Clay, and Wilbarga County
Eventually,
in
this
Texas.
is going to make it down towards places like eastern Throckmorton County, Young County, Jack County, western Wise County. Most of this is going to stay west of Runaway Bay, Bowie, Decatur. The stuff we had from Bowie up into Montague County has really weakened quite a bit here. So this is just some good old-fashioned thunderstorm lightning at this point, right? All right, let me update some of these cameras. That second camera you see, that's Sulphur Springs on I-30, where clearly there's still a lightning show. Oh. Really? What I probably need to do is move this camera over here, and we'll see if we can get anything. We may not, honestly, but that's okay. What I need to do is actually stop talking and drink some water for once. It always happens. I get busy, I don't drink water, and then, well, it's a wonder I get dehydrated and feel like garbage the next day. Ooh, nice lightning though in Sulphur Springs. I'll just set up this other camera in Sulphur Springs then. Ooh, yeah, we'll stick with this. This is east of Sulphur Springs at FM 900. All right, so let's talk about the storms out here again. Nasty little line of storms still moving south. And again, you know, this is out here northwest Texas. You know, we've got some hail, maybe up to the size of ping pong balls in spots. That'll be moving down towards Highway 380 from eastern Throckmorton County, Newcastle, Graham into Young County, Jack County, and then northeast Texas. Here we go. We'll pop onto this, and yeah, I can do the Bob Ross voice. I mean, we've got storms, we've got lightning, but guess what? It's gonna be okie dokie. We're not doing the tornadoes. We're not doing the, you know, crazy spinny dooms. No baseball size hail. No, 80-mile-an-hour winds trying to knock your stuff down. It's got a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain. Some pockets of pocket change size hail. Southwest of Pittsburgh, for example. Pretty good little hail core showing up here. Could be some quarter-size hail with that. Maybe a little bigger at times. Well, it's gonna be okie dokie. as this storm moves off to the southeast at about 30 miles an hour. And there's your Bob Ross voice. This storm west of Winnsboro is showing a bit of a stronger hail core loft right now, so heads up to Winnsboro. You may end up having a bit of an issue with a pocket change size hail over the next 15 minutes. Storms again are moving off to the south or east, a little more southeast now at about 30 miles an hour. So heads up from Winnsboro to Newsom, Pittsburgh to Betty, Gilmer, Northeast Equipment. The potential for bit of hail. Some gusty winds, a whole lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. As y'all can see, there is lightning. I was getting too obnoxious. So, let's go back. Back to the west we go. Where we'll end up, nobody knows. Is that enough Bob Ross voice for y'all? All right, so it is 11:27 p.m. Central Time, as y'all can see in that magical timestamp on the top left side of your screen. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but it's there, so that's one way you can make sure you're watching in real time. So with that, we are keeping an eye on this thunderstorm activity across portions of Baylor, Archer, and Clay counties. And these storms, honestly, are starting to look a little more annoying in the hail department. There is some pockets of stronger hail core showing up in this, so, I mean, yeah, there may be some pockets of ping pong ball size hail on 148 south of Henrietta right now. There could be wind gusts over 65 miles an hour, too. And this is going to be moving down towards Jack County. At this point, it almost looks like these things are moving due south, which is not good for those of you in northern Jack County who have been just pummeled over the last few weeks. And that's going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out now for Jack and Young counties. They're saying the potential of quarter-size hail and localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles per hour.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Jack and Young County in Texas.
It was water time. So what we're taking a look at here is, again, these storms are mostly moving south now at about 20 to 25 miles an hour, which is good news for those of you in places like Denton. Denton, look, unless something changes, oh man, for DFW, I think DFW is fine for the night. Not so much on Sunday when we could have some hail and wind issues. Oh, Carla, now, come on, that was way too generous. Really big thank you to Carla for the super chat there. That was extremely generous. A big thank you in the chat to her for that. Do appreciate it, thank you. But this storm north of Jacksboro, unfortunately, is trying to get a little more potent in the hail and wind department as it moves south at 25 miles an hour. So those of you from Jacksboro and Cundiff, north, Newport, this storm riding down Highway 148 could have at least quarter-size hail, maybe winds to 70. Again, it's starting to look a little more potent right now, so it may have a lot of hail. Back west, only mega goal. I know I'm saying it wrong. East of Seymour, the potential for some quarter-size hail, winds to 60. With this storm as it moves south. But again, I'm going to switch over real quick to the high-res radar here. You can see nasty little hail core right now on Highway 148, east of Windthorst, moving down 148 due south towards the city of Jacksboro. So, oh boy, with the hiccups. Sorry. Those of you in Jacksboro, heads up. You may have a pretty rowdy storm moving in over the next 30 to 40 minutes with some hail and some very strong winds. All right, let's go back to east. Runaway Bay at this point all y'all are looking at is some gusty winds, lightning, and brief heavy rain. Out here in East Texas, Northeast Texas, we do have a severe storm southwest of Pittsburgh with up to quarter-size hail. No tornadoes, no super mega wind of doom indicated right now. That storm moving mostly southeast, it looks like now, towards Betty. We're probably going to see a warning for maybe some quarter-size hail extended towards Ore City into portions of Marion County out here in East Texas and Harrison County. Oh. And again, these storms are moving southeast about 25 miles an hour. I'll switch back to this. And then we're also watching that storm near Winnsboro. There definitely could be at least some quarter-size hail near Winnsboro right now. Just southwest of town there on Highway 37. That's going to be moving southeast, also at about 25 miles an hour. And again, these are not tornadic. We're not doing the spinny doom. We're not doing crazy high winds, just a lot of lightning, some heavy rain. And now that we've seen some of these storms kind of consolidate a bit, we are seeing some pocket change size hail as this activity moves southeast at about 25 miles per hour. Bringing on in the Bob Ross voice again. Baldy Ross. And again, the real reason I do that at times is to rest my voice. Now, back out here into western North Texas. Again, a cluster of thunderstorms with hail up to the size of ping pong balls and perhaps localized wind gust over 60 to 65 miles an hour. Moving south towards the city of Jacksboro and Olney. Those of you from Jacksboro North, heads up, this storm that's riding down 148 does look rather grumpy, with the potential of ping pong ball size hail and localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. But guess what? Last but not least, because Stormy doesn't like that, those of you northwest of Olney from west over to Megarol, that storm is also looking quite potent at the moment as well. That could be making its way towards eastern Throckmorton County and western Young County, Elbert, Newcastle, Throckmorton. Biogi, thank you very much for that very generous super chat, and you got it. Bob Ross voice it is. A big thank you to Biogi there in the YouTube chat. Thanks for the support. Back out here in East Texas, Northeast Texas, we do have some storms with a whole bunch of cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rain, and, yes, two little stormies having a little bit of a tantrum. One storm southwest of Pittsburgh, one storm near Winnsboro, moving off to the southeast at about 25 miles an hour with maybe some quarter-size hail, whole lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, and yeah, more heavy rain just to get in some of that jazz. Did you know we have that kind of music on our 24/7 live stream? Yes, sirree, Bob. I am less stressed about the weather. We're not doing tornadoes tonight. We're not doing crazy uh-ohs. We're doing storms with lightning and some pocket change size hail. Out here in northwest Texas and western North Texas, admittedly, these storms are looking a little more robust right now. They may have a little more than pocket change size hail, but this activity definitely has the potential for some pretty nasty hail and wind. Well, Polly, the good news is if you're actually in Granbury right now, the closest lightning to you is about 60 miles to your north. So, if you've got actual lightning in the city of Granbury right now, lightning strikes hitting you, well, we're going to have a discussion. because the closest lightning to you, again, is about 60 miles to the north. Now, if you're in DFW, Weatherford, Mineral Wells, and Granbury, and you're looking north, oh yeah, you got lightning. But again, let's just, we're going to do a little magical marker here, and the closest lightning strike, about 62.5 miles northwest of Granbury as the little magic marker flies. But yeah, these storms are moving southeast. As a whole, we've seen weakening occur. The storm that was in Montague County went adios, au revoir, Peters and bye-bye. But this activity here, northwest of Olney, near Westover, east of Seymour, all the way to north of the city of Jacksboro. These are looking pretty rowdy right now, admittedly. We'll go ahead and pop on that super duper high-res radar. And here we go. Jacksboro, heads up, you've got a storm running down Highway 148, moving south at about 25 miles an hour. That storm has the potential to produce hail, quarter to ping pong ball size, that is 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. If you're in the DFW Metroplex, you're good to go. There's no storms for you tonight. The storms have gone away, so it's going to be a-okay. Storm north of Jacksboro, moving south at 25 miles an hour. And again, that storm does have the potential to produce hail up to the size of quarters and localized damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. The nice thing about this microphone is that when I go jazz mode, I can just turn up the gain and y'all can still usually hear me pretty well. Can turn it up a little more and just make sure I don't go squealing. Pretty nasty little hail curler here on 114 between Olney and Seymour, and again, nasty sauce with that. That could definitely be some bigger hail with that. Y'all there northwest of Olney near Megargel. Let's just pretend that doesn't exist. Sorry. Near Westover. Again, pretty nasty looking little hail core with that moving south at about 25 miles an hour. It said 40, but it was lying. And again, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until midnight for Young and Jack counties. Sunday, could be as soon as noon. You have a good night, Jeff. Thanks for popping on in. Back in East Texas we go, ladies and gentlemen. I say ho ho ho. Pretty nasty looking little storm over Winsboro right now. I guess by technicality this is Northeast Texas. Megargel, thank you. So those of you out here near Winsboro, this storm does have the potential to produce quarter-size hail and localized wind gusts of 60. Well, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Oldies must admit when they make a boo-boo. This storm near Winsboro to Pittsburgh has the potential of quarter-size hail and some gusty winds, but nothing that should be too rowdy. In the wind department, no spinny doom-dooms, no 80-mile-an-hour winds, no softball-size hail trying to knock down your windows. But lightning is frightening, and guess what? As good old Baldy Ross would say, when thunder roars, it's time to get that keister of yours indoors. And we are going to be keeping an eye on this activity as it moves southeast over the next couple of hours. I don't expect widespread severe weather in northeast Texas this morning. It is almost morning. Eventually, these storms will go adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, and translate their happy selves out into Louisiana, but it is what it is. Yeah, definitely concerned. Jared, thank you, I think. Logan, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. After that hail stops on falling, let us know how big it ended up being. Just don't go outside while it's hailing. You can let us know in relation to a common object or a ruler if you want. Or if not, that's okay too. It is kind of the middle of the night. Kim, yeah, thanks for that report. Same to you. If you can safely let us know how big the hail got, once it's safe to do so, would appreciate it. Well, when we're not doing spinny, spinny, doom, doom, I can use the jazz voice, especially later in the evening. Sarah, thank you very much for that generous super chat. And yeah, I try to be a good sport, but don't worry, I can throw temper tantrums. So again, Meg Gargle. We've got some storms in northeast Texas. We've got some hail right now in Whitesboro. Whitesboro. Wrong county. Winsboro. And then we've got some hail right now. Radar, why you do? That's not very nice, boo-hoo. Must you be mean and hateful to me? That's not nice. Don't be mean. We do have a couple of severe storms out here in portions of Young County and Jack County. One storm near Maygargle, moving south-southeast towards Elbert, staying west of Olney mostly. And then we're watching a storm north of Jacksboro around south down Highway 148. That storm has the potential to produce strong winds and hail. I'm going to pop on over. We're going to take a look at the which way the wind's blowing mode. And yeah, that's kind of what I thought. We're seeing a pretty good wind indication right now with this storm in northern Jack County. Moving south. So those of you in Winsboro, my apologies for the awakening. That hail should be ending in Winsboro shortly. If it's safe to do so, or when it's safe to do so, if y'all in Winsboro could let us know how big that hail was, in relation to a common object like a quarter, nickel, dime, etc. I hope it wasn't any bigger than a quarter. But again, those of you in Jack County, north of Jacksboro, to German, heads up. The hail and the strong winds are on the way. Sorry, no on-edge Baldian Chief this late at night. So out here in Winsboro, I'm afraid y'all indeed are being dealt the unpleasant evening wake-up call of hail. So again, if you're in Winsboro right now, could have quarter-size hail. Looks like a lot of y'all in Winsboro. Kim's reporting P2 half-inch size hail. Logan's reporting dime-size hail. Appreciate those reports, y'all. Thank you very much. I'm sorry having to deal with that this evening. The high-res rapid refresh model indeed hasn't been doing super well. That's one reason I'm not showing it at the moment. I'm going to pop this chair up, so 1 second. Oh. Now, for as expensive as this chair was a couple years ago, it's kind of annoying how numb it makes my buttocks. Yes, I'm sure y'all appreciated that. Luna, thank you for that report as well. And Kaylee, absolutely. Thanks for staying safe inside, but for the report of quarters. So y'all in Whitesboro, it should be ending here in just a couple minutes. Though it may keep raining here for a wee while, along with the cloud-to-ground lightning. Now, let me go back to that Bob Ross voice. Pittsburgh, you're good to go. Storms are staying south of Pittsburgh at this point. We'll watch that one near Winsboro, though. Looks like the Weather Service has elected to let the warning around Winsboro, well, they did let it expire, but they were a little late in issuing the new one. So now, you had about 20 seconds of no warning. Naughty, naughty.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Camp, Cass, Gregg, Harrison, Marion, Morris, Upshur, and Wood County in Texas.
5 counties? What the bippity-boppity-boo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for plenty of counties, and we're going to have another one come across the radio here in just a second. So, let's see.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Throckmorton County in Texas.
All right, this is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:45 a.m. for many counties in northeast Texas for Camp, Cass, Gregg, Harrison, Marion, Morris, Upshur, and Wood counties. At 11:45 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing, severe thunderstorms were located along a line from near Jenkins to Winnsboro, or along a line from 19 miles east of Pittsburgh to near Winnsboro, moving east at 35 miles an hour. The potential now exists for hail up to the size of quarters, and localized damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, so they have elected to add some gusty winds. This includes Gladewater, Gilmer, Pittsburgh, Winnsboro, Leesburg, Jefferson, Lone Star, Ore City, East Mountain, Cedar Springs, Diana, West Mountain, Rosewood, Jenkins, Newsom, Berea, Pleasant Grove, Lodi, Avenger, and Union Grove. And you can see here on the magical How Hard It's Raining mode, got a couple storms out here. One storm just southeast of Winnsboro, one north of Gilmer, south of Pittsburgh, and one just southwest of Avenger. All these are moving southeast at about 25 miles an hour, east-southeast. And again, the potential exists for some of these storms to produce hail of dime to nickel and even quarters, along with gusty winds. So heads up to y'all in Gilmer, Ore City, Avenger, Lassiter. Storms are moving in from the northwest with plenty of lightning, gusty winds, and heavy rain. Back west we go, because that's what I do, ho ho ho. Charlie Foxtrot, 5 Romeo, Quebec. That was very generous of you. Thank you very much. A big thank you to them. In the YouTube chat, we appreciate the support. Out here in western North Texas we go. A severe thunderstorm is currently located about 8 miles north of the city of Jacksboro, moving south at 25 miles an hour. This storm does have the potential of producing damaging straight-line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour and hail up to the size of quarters. This storm will be arriving in the city of Jacksboro at around 12:15 to 12:20 a.m. Out west, northwest of Olney, this storm also has the potential of wind gusts over 60 miles an hour and quarter-size hail. Wally, thank you for the report of quarter-size hail in Winnsboro. This storm near and west of Olney will be crossing Highway 380 west of the city of Newcastle around 12:15 a.m. If it continues on its present course and speed, it'll be entering Stevens County at 12:45 a.m. The general expectation has been for these storms to weaken as they make it to Highway 380. So far, they're still going, but we're down to 2. I do expect further weakening as these storms continue moving south. But it is not impossible they do make it into portions of Stevens, Palo Pinto, and perhaps even western Paca counties after 12:45 a.m. Those of you on Runaway Bay, you're going to be getting quite a bit of cloud-to-ground lightning. You might even get some rain, but the worst is going to stay to your west. Now, let's go back east. SY, thank you for the report of quarter-size hail in Winnsboro. So we've now had multiple reports of hail up to 1 inch in diameter in Winnsboro. That storm is going to be exiting the town shortly, if it hasn't already, moving off to the southeast at about 20 miles an hour. And in case y'all are wondering, yes, I'm purposely using my super-duper Bob Ross voice, But if we had a big, bad, very mad situation arise, I'd have no problem going into Bad Daddy mode. Oh, I see everyone's comments. I have a screen up here that combines all the little streams into one beautiful scroll. It makes life much more simple. We do have a cluster of thunderstorms moving across portions of northeast Texas. A severe thunderstorm just southeast of Winnsboro now. That brought quarter-size hail to town. That'll be exiting town shortly. Those storms trying to make their way down towards Gilmer and Highway 154, north of Haynesville, east of Quitman, northwest of Pritchett. We also have some storms. We have a storm just west of Avenger. That's going to be moving off to the southeast. That one just west of Avenger does have a pretty good little hail core on it right now there on 155. So heads up to y'all in Avenger. It's about to get loud. That hail core could actually make it over into Avenger here in the next 10 minutes. We've got a hailer north of Gilmer crossing over Highway 271. And all these storms, again, are moving mostly east-southeast at about 25 miles an hour with the potential of hail up to the size of quarters and some strong winds. And yeah, these have a lot of lightning. I would expect the severe weather watch for the DFW Metroplex, including Denton County, to be canceled before 2 a.m. based on the present course and speed. We have two severe thunderstorms northwest of the DFW Metroplex at this time. They are moving almost due south. One thunderstorm is located about 6 miles north of the city of Jacksboro. It does have a pretty good straight-line wind signature with it, along with the potential of quarter-size hail. This is going to remain, it's moving due south 148 right now, so it'll be moving in the city of Jacksboro probably by 12:15 a.m. This is not going to be an issue for Lake Bridgeport, though those of you on Lake Bridgeport, Chico, Runaway Bay, you could get some lightning and some rain over the next hour. Farther west, a severe thunderstorm west of the city of Olney by probably about 6 miles, give or take, is moving south-southeast. That could bring heavy rain and hail to the size of quarters, along with wind gusts over 60 miles an hour to the city of Newcastle out here in Young County. For now, the worst looks to remain west of the city of Graham. It's going to be a close call for those of you in Crystal Falls, Elizasville, and South Bend. And if this storm kept going, it's possible it could end up being near the west sides of Ivan in the next hour. So again, northeast Texas, we have storms this morning. We're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing, 80-mile-an-hour winds. We're not doing baseball-size hail, but I totally get the fact these storms are shooting off enough lightning to wake half the country. So make no mistake about it, we're definitely here to keep you updated. Again, the strongest storm out here in northeast Texas right now is going to be just southeast of Winnsboro. That storm does have the potential of at least quarter-size hail. May end up getting a little bigger here. We're starting to see some larger hail develop aloft. And that's going to be moving east-southeast towards Betty and Gilmer. I'm going to go ahead and put a little cross scan on this. And I'm going to make sure I've got this oriented as best I can west-east. And again, this storm southeast of Mount Pleasant, you can see, does have decent little hail core up to about 20,000 feet. And what we're watching for is a new thunderstorm going up east of Quitman, well southeast of Winnsboro. And as that occurs, we're kind of seeing some enhanced updraft velocities here. And that doesn't mean anything in the sense of tornadoes or damaging winds. It just means we might see some slightly bigger hail start falling out of this storm soon. maybe closer to half-dollar ping pong balls. As this activity continues moving slowly southeast at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Those of you in Mineral Wells, at this point, you're okie dokie. We're going to have to watch that storm that's on the north side of Jacksboro as it moves south. But at this point, the storm north of Jacksboro is still probably at least an hour away from Mineral Wells, and I'm hoping it's going to be on the weakening side before it gets to Mineral Wells, but we'll be here keeping an eye on it. Coming up to 11:56 p.m., I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer saying good evening and thanks for popping on in. We're here for live weather coverage as we babysit Mama Nature's temper tantrums. We're going to be keeping a close eye on things. And again, we have no tornadoes. We have no crazy, mega wind. We're not throwing out baseball-size hail at the moment. We're just keeping an eye on the sky. The planting zone, thanks for that super chat, and I'm sorry you've got hail on your location right now. Please stay safe. No storms in DFW. Harris, I don't think you're going to have an issue this evening. So again, we're watching this cluster of storms now from southeast of Winsboro, southwest of Pittsburgh, to, it'll eventually be moving southeast into Gilmer and Ore City here in the next few minutes. We're dealing with 3 storms right now out here that could have some hail, honestly. We've got one storm near Avenger, moving towards Lassiter, Berea, and Jefferson. We have one storm just west of Ore City, and we have a storm southeast of Winsboro. All 3 of these are moving east-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour, and each of these has the potential of pocket change size hail and localized wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour. So heads up to Gilmer and Jefferson, and maybe eventually Longview and Marshall. You may get some rowdy storms with lightning, pocket change size hail, and strong winds. Stand by, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Jack, Palo Pinto, Parker, Stevens, and Young County in Texas.
All right, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for our western complex of storms. This is going to include portions of Young, Jack, Palo Pinto, and Parker counties. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a time on this. And again, this is just going to kind of give us a bit of an idea here. That new warning does include northern Stevens, northern Palo Pinto, northwestern Parker, not Wise. It includes Jack and Young counties. We'll go ahead and read this warning real quick. A severe thunderstorm two severe storms were located along a line from 11 miles north of Jacksboro. It's closer than that to near Elbert, moving south at 30 miles an hour, the potential for hail up to the size of quarters, and localized damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. These storms will be near Jacksboro and Lake Graham around 12:10 a.m., Bryson and Fort Richardson State Park around 12:15, the city of Graham around 12:20, and Possum Kingdom Lake around 12:40 a.m. This warning includes German, Witt, Lost Creek Reservoir, Cundiff, Newcastle, Jean, Murray, Loving, Gibtown, and Joplin. So again, Jacksboro around 12:10 a.m., city of Graham around 12:15 to 12:20, Newcastle 12:05 to 12:10. This could be near Grayford around 12:40 to 12:45. Possum Kingdom Lake around 12:40 to 12:45. Northern sections of Stevens County after 12:45. And again, the way this looks, I don't expect any significant severe weather issues in Runaway Bay, like Bridgeport. Y'all are going to have some storms just to your west, though, and you may end up getting some rain and lightning. Linda, thank you very much for that super chat. A big thank you to Linda, and a big thank you to the Planting Zone in the chats for helping to support us. Back to the east we go. Severe thunderstorms are saying ho, 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 yo, yo. It's now 12:01 a.m., the 9th of May, 2026. Mineral Wells, you're okay. You may have an issue by 1 a.m. Mineral Wells. Wouldn't be until 1 a.m. on the earliest side. All right, back out here, we have a few severe storms. Those of you near Lassiter and Avenger, you've got a threat of hail right now. Those of you in North City, you may have some hail moving in the next 10 minutes. Winnsboro, you're still getting rain, but you're done with the hail, unless you're southeast of Winnsboro, east of 37. These storms are going to be moving southeast, about 30 to 35 miles an hour, and again, they do have the potential to produce hail up to the size of quarters. That's 1 inch in diameter, and localized wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour. A big thank you to meteorologist Jason Cooley, who's helping out on the back end. He's getting a lot of the social media posts out. Big thank you to those of you watching live from the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app and from the Texas Storm Chasers website. And of course, those of you watching us directly here on YouTube. Those of you in Jacksboro, heads up, in the next 10 minutes, big bad very mad storm will be rolling on into town. All right. So heads up to Gilmer. Again, you could have some problems with hail by 12:30, or City probably in the next 10 minutes. Avenger, you're getting it right now. Lassiter, same thing. That'll be moving towards Jefferson, and that's going to be over the next 20 to 30 minutes. Those of you in Weatherford, no issues at this point. We will keep an eye on that storm near Jacksboro, though. So let's go back out here. And again, those of you in Jacksboro, you're about to deal with big, bad, very mad storm. The way this storm's moving, Mineral Wells, again, you would not have an issue until 1 a.m. at the earliest in Mineral Wells. Those of you in Weatherford, it'd be 1:15 to 1:30 if the storm didn't stay to your west. It may not. Quarter-size hail from Gene reported northeast of Gilmer. Thank you for that. Hey, Weather Service, you listening? This is why you should have us in your internal chat so we can actually relay these reports to you in real time. No one from the Weather Service is watching, though. Boldy and Chief throwing shade, I know. We just like to do the best we can and work with others, and if that means being able to submit reports to integrated warning teams, we'd love to. Mike, thanks for that report from Avenger. And Alicia, thank you very much. That was a very difficult and bad day. I'm glad no one was killed, but yeah, that was a very bad day. Nothing like that this morning. Southeast of Winnsboro, yeah, the storm's pretty nasty. It's got some strong winds with it and some hail. These storms, again, are going to be capable of producing some hail. Mostly pocket change size. As they move off to the southeast. Pollock, you're fine. There's nothing going on. DFW, I don't think you're going to have any issues this morning. So let me put the loop back on this. That's not what I wanted. So again, here's over the last hour or so, and you can see these storms are mostly moving southeast. The storm north of Jacksboro is moving due south into the city of Jacksboro in the next 5 to 6 minutes. The potential for hail and very strong winds. We're monitoring a severe storm on Highway 154. That's going to be about 11 miles northwest of Gilmer, moving southeast at about 25 to 35 miles an hour towards Betty and Gilmer. Heads up to Y'all or City. Risk of hail is increasing for Y'all in the next several minutes. You've got a storm just west of Ore City there on 155 that's moving southeast. We've got a storm over Lassiter southeast of Avenger that could have pocket change size hail. That's going to be moving towards areas Pricing. Might make it towards Berea and Jefferson there in Marion County and eventually on Highway 59. And again, these storms have the potential for hail. And if anyone wants to be a moderator, hey, shoot me an email. And admittedly, I have to get back to several that have. It's been a busy week. My apologies for that. I'll get back to those tomorrow. Well, in this case, today. All right, out here, Jacksboro, you've got a storm moving south into the city over the next couple of minutes. And again, that could have hail. Could be quarter-size hail to ping-pong ball-size hail. So heads up, Jacksboro, the potential for ping-pong ball-size hail and localized wind gust of 60 miles an hour. Moving on to the south, at about 30 miles an hour. So Jacksboro in the next few minutes, it's already started in Jacksboro. You got the wind, you got the rain, you got the lightning. The hail's going to arrive in Jacksboro in the next 5 minutes. Again, could be ping pong ball size. After that, that storm's going to move down Highway 281. At this point, those of you in Mineral Wells, about 1:15 a.m. So, Perrin, let's do some timing on this. I know the names don't show up on this map, but I have them on another one. This at the 281, 199 split, about 12:35. Those of you in Perrin, about 12:50. Salesville, about 1:05. And then this would move into Mineral Wells about 1:15 if it's still in existence. I hope it's not, but it may be. If it is, 1:15 in Mineral Wells with the potential of some hail and some strong winds. Second storm is going to be northwest of Newcastle, moving southeast, south-southeast towards Newcastle. It'll be there by around 12:25. This will then be approaching South Bend on 67 around 1 a.m. It's worth noting that if these storms continue, those of you around Possum Kingdom Lake may have an issue by 1 a.m. as well, with lightning, gusty winds, and hail. All right, those of you northwest of Gilmer, heads up. It's about to storm. The potential for hail up to the size of quarters. Lufkin is good for the night. In Betty and Gilmer, in the next 15 minutes, the potential for quarter-size hail, strong winds, and heavy rain. Those of you in Ore City, you're getting in on it here in the next few minutes. The potential for hail up to the size of quarters, heavy rain, gusty winds, a whole lot of lightning. Those of you in Lassiter, down Highway 49 towards Berea, and eventually Jefferson, you could also get hail up to the size of quarters in the next several minutes as this activity moves southeast at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. Do y'all miss that Bob Ross voice? DFW is clear for the night. All right, let's come back to the storm out here. Again, we are monitoring 2 severe thunderstorms in western North Texas. Those of you in Jacksboro, it's about to hail. Those of you west of Newcastle, it's about to hail. The potential for ping pong ball size hail that is 1.5 inches in diameter, along with localized wind gust of 60 to 65 miles an hour. This activity is moving south at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And this activity again is moving south at about 30 miles per hour. Those of you in Mineral Wells, if these storms hold together, they will arrive around 1:15 a.m., so in about 65 minutes, with the potential of hail and localized damaging winds. We're not doing tornadoes. Don't worry about that. It's not spinny, spinny, doom, doom, but hail and wind we do have. And, well, debris would get flown around pretty easily in gusty winds. So hopefully these storms are going to weaken soon, but they have not yet. So that's why we're here at 12:11 in the morning. Guess what? As far as I know, no other, weather streamers are. Like I said, we're here for Texas. We're Texans giving you Texas weather information because we care, and that's what we do. We're from here. We live here. So, a lot of folks I know are going to get woken up over in the Mineral Wells area, the Runaway Bay area. A lot of folks with storm anxiety, and rightfully so. So we're here. We're here for you. And we're just going to give you the information. And to be clear, that's why I'm using my Bob Ross voice. At this point, DFW is still fine. This is probably going to make it towards parts of western Parker County, but I think Denton County's fine. Collin, Tarrant, Dallas. And at some point, these are going to be, evaporating. We're just not there yet. It's one consequence of May. We have plenty of go-go juice. So again, Jacksboro, you've got a hailer rolling into town right now from the north. There's no tornadoes in Jacksboro. We have wind, we got hail. All right, so Winnsboro, you're about to be done in Winnsboro. It's rolling out. Gilmer, it is about to storm. We're about to get some hail in Gilmer out here in Upshur County. Betty, same thing. Pritchett, could get some hail. Size of quarters, about 1 inch in diameter. Those of you in Ore City, same thing, could get quarter-size hail. Lassiter, down to Jefferson, you could also get some quarter-size hail here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. These storms have very frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and locally heavy rain. No tornadoes, no crazy hurricane-force winds, just a lot of lightning, heavy rain, some pocket change-size hail. Moving southeast, if they continue, those of you in places like Spring Hill, Longview, Marshall, may end up dealing with this in the next hour. All right, let's go back to Jacksboro. Runaway Bay, you're okay. We're not going to have any issues in Runaway Bay from, tornadoes, big damaging hail, or wind. You're going to get some rain and some lightning in Runaway Bay and Bridgeport. The worst should stay just to your west. Storm in Jacksboro, moving south into Jacksboro, is going to be moving south-southeast. Rachel, for the third time, yes, you're fine. Go to bed. You're good to go. Those of you in Jacksboro, again, you could have hail up to the size of ping pong balls rolling in here in the next several minutes. As this storm moves south-southeast at 30 miles an hour, it is starting to move a little more south-southeast versus due south, which would increase the risk to Parker County. Jacksboro, again, is about to storm a lot, or hail a lot. Could be up to ping pong ball size along with strong winds. Those of you in Newcastle, it's about to storm. Olney, you're getting the rain quite a bit. These storms moving southeast, again, south-southeast, about 30 miles an hour. Mineral Wells, probably around 1:15 a.m. At this point, those of you between Springtown and Weatherford, If they make it down there, I'd say probably at least after 1:15, maybe a bit later than that. These storms are moving south-southeast. Again, I'll put a loop on here. We have no tornadoes, not expecting tornadoes. And again, these storms are mostly moving south, starting to turn a little south-southeast. And again, they currently have the potential of producing quarter to ping pong ball size hail. Localized wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. Very frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy rain. We're not doing softballs. We're not doing 80-mile-an-hour winds. We're not doing tornadoes. It's 12:16 a.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Building-in-Chief David Reimer. Good morning. We're monitoring 2 clusters of severe thunderstorms early this morning. We have one cluster now from Betty and Gilmer to Ore City to Jefferson, moving southeast at about 35 miles an hour. Could have hail up to the size of quarters and localized wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. Those of you in places like Glenwood, Diana, Carlton, Nesbit, Marshall, Uncertain, Smithland, Gray, Leah, Hallsville, Longview, White Oak, Pritchett, you could be dealing with storms in the next hour, with the potential of heavy rain, cloud-to-ground lightning,
Texas local
gusty
storm
winds to
report
strong
from 1
damaging
miles
winds,
west northwest
perhaps,
of Ore City in
and
Upshur County,
the potential for
Texas.
pocket-change size hail,
Hail magnitude
up to the
estimated
size of a quarter.
1.00 inch.
With that
Reported by
activity,
Park/Forest
as it moves off
SRVC.
to the east-southeast
Additional
at
information, hail to the size of
35
quarters
miles
reported
an
in
hour.
Ore City, Texas.
The storm about to move into Gilmer does have a history of producing quarter-size hail that is 1 inch in diameter. Back in Winnsboro a bit earlier. Those of you in Winnsboro, you're good to go. Good night. Sleep tight. Pleasant dreams to you. Those of you in northeast Texas, mostly you're good to go. Little shower developing west of Bogota, northeast of Cooper. DFW, there's nothing going on in DFW right now. The closest storms are off to your west. We have a severe storm in the city of Jacksboro that does have the potential to produce hail up to the size of ping pong balls. Localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy rain. We have a storm west of Newcastle as well. The product you're seeing here is a 11-year-old product that is no longer in active development. A new version will hopefully be coming out. I mean, I don't even know when they plan on doing that anymore. It's sadly been too long, but hopefully later this year or next year. There are thankfully a very many good number of apps out there folks can use, but now the one we use here is one most folks aren't going to be using. It's a PC program. So again, it's 12:19 a.m. We have a severe thunderstorm over the city of Jacksboro, moving south-southeast towards Vineyard, Joplin, Perrin. We're going to get some rain in Runaway Bay, some lightning, maybe some gusty winds. We're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing crazy hail. Storms from Olney to Newcastle, starting to show some weakening trends now. Those hail cores out there have really decreased. Springtown, unless something really changes here, this storm should stay west of Springtown. Y'all in Springtown, though, are definitely seeing the lightning to your west-northwest. You might get some rain out of this in Springtown and gusty winds, but no. As of how it looks right now, we're not doing a repeat of what we've dealt with in the last couple of weeks. Out here in East Texas, we do have thunderstorms still moving off to the southeast. Gilmer, you're in it right now. If Gilmer's getting hail, it'd be in the next 5 minutes. A report of quarter-size hail reported in Ore City. with this storm. Could have some small hail in Jefferson and Berea as well. These storms moving southeast at 35 miles an hour. Mineral Wells, if we had storms moving to Mineral Wells, they'd be there around 1:15 a.m. I'm hoping they're going to weaken before they get down there, but as it is right now, Mineral Wells, you might end up dealing with some storms. Starting to see a new storm develop here just west of Uncertain. That'll be moving into Uncertain before Louisiana shortly. A bit of a hail core developing aloft with that. Remains to be seen if that's able to start dropping larger hail before it moves towards Oil City. I'm talking about this little storm right here. Moving towards Oil City over Uncertain. That's developing a hail core pretty quickly aloft here. So again, it's 12:21. Storms from Gilmer to Ore City to Jefferson moving east-southeast at 35 miles an hour with the potential of up to quarter-size hail, perhaps some localized wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. Wind hasn't been a big deal this morning as far as we know. It's mostly just been pocket change size hail and a lot of lightning, along with heavy rain. These storms are moving southeast at 35 miles an hour, which means if they continue on their present course and speed, places like Longview, Marshall, Shreveport, Louisiana, you may be getting in on it here by 1 a.m. These are not producing tornadoes. These aren't producing baseball-size hail. They're not dropping 80-mile-an-hour winds. We are watching this storm over Jacksboro. Jacksboro, you've got it right now. You've got the hail. You've got strong winds. You've got a lot of lightning and heavy rain. Keeping a very close eye on this activity. Now, Runaway Bay, again, you're looking okay for now. You're getting some nearby lightning in Runaway Bay. It almost does look like this storm turned a little southeast, so that could increase the threat to Joplin, Perrin. It's still staying west of Lake Bridgeport and Runaway Bay. Looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Caddo County in Louisiana, Harrison and Marion County in Texas.
Yeah, the reason I haven't shown the high-res rapid refresh model is it has not been handling the situation well, so that's why I haven't shown it. But we do expect storms in western North Texas to calm down in the next hour or two. And then this stuff in East Texas should be moving into Louisiana by 2 to 3. That new severe storm warning we just had come across. Uncertain, Smithland. It's moving off to the east. There could be some hail with that. Jared, no. We are not with anyone. You may see some of our independent storm chasers with other folks or their streams, but no. Texas Storm Chasers, myself, not associated with anyone else. Our chasers, or pretty much everyone except me, is a non-exclusive content provider, meaning you'll probably see their stuff on other people's streams. In fact, some of them you won't see on our streams anymore because they've signed agreements with others that are exclusive to them in terms of live video and whatnot. Which is good for them. But again, we're here. We're Texans giving you Texas weather information. That's all I care about. Even if, Texas Storm Chasers is the name, guess what? Company hasn't been focused on storm chasing in over a year now. we're here to help give you weather information. And you know what? We have chasers here that are here to do that same thing, to help give you those visuals. Ore City, I'm very sorry you ended up with the hail. Yeah, so Jacksboro, you're probably getting some hail right now. That's going to be moving southeast. And eventually that could be moving into northeastern Palo Pinto and northwestern Parker County by 1 a.m. The current trajectory here means that those of you in Weatherford may end up having to deal with this by 1:30. We've got another storm back west over Olney to Newcastle. In Young County, that's going to bring some rain to Graham. Lightning as well. Right now, that hail core is not as potent as it was, but there may be some small hail out there with that. And that'll bring some rain to Graham in the next 20 minutes out here in northeast Texas. Oh, excuse moi. We do have a storm over Gilmer that could be dropping quite a bit of hail right now. Y'all in Gilmer, let us know how big the hail ended up being once it's safe to do so. Those of you in Gilmer, again, pretty nasty storm over you right now. You could have at least quarter-size hail. Some very strong winds as well. Heavy rain, cloud-to-ground lightning. That storm's going to be moving off to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. Ore City, you had quarter-size hail about 10 minutes ago. Jefferson, you've got some hail as well, perhaps. And then we have some hail near Uncertain and Gary. That's going to be moving east in Louisiana shortly. But otherwise, these storms are mostly moving southeast at about 35 miles an hour with the potential, again, of hail up to the size of quarters and localized wind gusts over 50 to 60 miles an hour. Again, thanks to those of you popping on in this morning. I'm sure y'all popping in at this time of night are not thrilled about it. I'm sorry you're having to deal with this, but Mama Nature gonna do what Mama Nature gonna do. We don't have any tornado issues. We don't have any crazy 80-mile-an-hour winds, stuff like that. Parker, that is a good question for Runaway Bay. Yeah, let me zoom in and look at you in detail. Unfortunately, Runaway Bay, you are about to get some rain. Runaway Bay is about to get rained on. Maybe moderate rain at times. But most of this, and I'll loop this real quick, and I'll even turn off the warp so you can actually see this. And hey, wrong button, sorry. I'll do this. And you'll be able to see that most of this is going to stay west of Runaway Bay. The hail, the nastiness, you're still going to get some gusty winds in Runaway Bay. Perhaps 20, 30 miles an hour out of the west. But at this point, Lake Bridgeport, Runaway Bay, yeah, you could get some moderate rain. Not expecting hail issues, etc. The worst of the storm is going to stay west of Runaway Bay towards Vineyard and the city of Jacksboro. Gilmer, to be truthful, you can go to bed now if you want. There's no tornadoes in Gilmer. You're still going to have lightning galore for probably another 30 minutes at least. You may still have pockets of hail, too. Weatherford, again, Mineral Wells to Weatherford. If this storm continues, it could be down on Highway 180 by 1:15 a.m., the potential for hail. Pocket change size hail. Cloud-to-ground lightning. Heavy rain and gusty winds. It's worth noting, check this out, just north of Springtown. It's had a lightning strike 20 miles east of this storm near Jacksboro, down to the north side of Springtown. So heads up. southwest of Boyd. This thing's shooting lightning out again. These storms are still mostly moving south-southeast. They're not moving southeast or east. So DFW, again, most DFW is going to be fine from this. Den, Collin, Cook, Grayson, y'all are fine from this. This is an issue for places like Breckenridge, Mineral Wells, Possum Kingdom Lake, maybe Weatherford, in Parker, Palo Pinto, and Stevens counties, far southwestern Wise County. And then back east, this activity out here from Gilmer to Jefferson to Uncertain is moving
Texas
southeast at about 35
in Upshur County,
miles an hour.
Texas. Hail magnitude
And again, it's
estimated
hailing in Gilmer right
1.00
now.
inch.
Could be quarter-size
Reported
hail
by
or about an
public.
inch in diameter.
Additional
That should be
information,
calming down
1
shortly.
inch hail reported
Diana
at
and
a
Glenwood
local
will
gas
be
station
next.
in Gilmer, Texas.
All right, y'all, give me just 30 seconds. I got to go visit the little boy's room. And then we'll be back with continuing coverage. Enjoy the pause frame. Kiddos, I'm back. Let's look at my beautiful face again in the most satirical, sarcastic manner imaginable. Put that there. Howdy. All right, it is 12:33 a.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer here on the 9th of May, Saturday morning. We've got a storm over Gilmer that brought quarter-size hail to the city of Gilmer, it looks like. That'll be moving towards Diana. We've got another storm over Harleton to Lassiter. We got some showers developing over Kilgore and Longview. If those keep developing, they may start shooting lightning pretty quickly. And then we've got a storm near Uncertain and Gray. All that's moving off to the east-southeast about 30 miles an hour. The way it looks now, most of Longview is going to be spared of this, though it's going to rain. All right, let's go back west. Again, there's no tornadoes. Pocket change size hail with this, maybe some strong winds and lightning. Back out west, this storm in Jack County refuses to die. And this activity is going to be moving southeast at about 25 miles an hour. So, as it does so, this storm is now exiting Jacksboro to the southeast. So Jacksboro, you're clear. Looks like we had quarter-size hail reported in Jacksboro with this. So, better than ping pongs. That's 1 inch in diameter. Perrin to Joplin. You're going to be next in the next few minutes is staying well west of Lake Bridgeport, west of Runaway Bay. Hopefully, we can keep that rain shield on the eastern side, just keep it right there on the county line, and keep the heavier rains out of Runaway Bay. We don't need any rain in there. And then this storm's going to be moving on southeast, about 25 miles an hour. We'll put a storm track on here now. And let me see. Are they saying 30? All right, so let me do this. I'm going to draw a custom storm track for this. Wrong button. I'm giving us a wide scope here. I'm going to include that just to deal with that. So, present course and speed, this storm could be entering, I don't know if it's going to be in Mineral Wells by 1 a.m. I've been saying about 1:15. I think that's probably still okay, but I mean, it is what it is. So let's just say 1 a.m.-ish in Mineral Wells. Weatherford, if it makes it that far east, it'd be closer to maybe 1:20 a.m. We're going to be keeping an eye on it. If it turns farther south, well, I'm trying to honestly look to see if this has turned farther southeast or not. All right, maybe it has. So I'm going to redraw this storm track. It might be moving a little more southeast now. So let's do this. It doesn't make me happy, but you know what? If that's what we got to do to encompass the scopes of possibility. So, again, I think most of this will stay west of Runaway Bay, but Springtown, if it does make it that far east, it could be there by about 1:20 to 1:25 a.m. City of Weatherford, about 1:25 to 1:30. Mineral Wells, about 1:05 to 1:10. If it keeps on this track. And again, not everyone in that box is going to get this storm. And hopefully here at some point it's just going to weaken and turn into a nothingness. We're just not there yet. But again, we're not doing tornadoes. We're not doing 80-mile-an-hour winds, etc. Do this. Let me go ahead and put a... So let's go back out to the eastern storms. All right, so again, you can see out here in northeast Texas, these storms continue. Now, the good news is they're honestly looking more disorganized. We got, again, we're kind of transitioning back into more of just a lot of lightning, locally heavy rain, maybe some nickel to quarter size hail. We're not doing the whole tornado thing. We're not doing the whole knock down half the county's trees and power grid thing, though there still could be plenty of gusty winds. So, Gilmer, you'll be fine here shortly. I know it's pouring and storming, but those of you in Gilmer should be okay. Now, there is a good question, the Laredo question. Let's take a look at what's going on down here. I haven't yet. I'm probably not going to like this. Yeah, we do have some... Ooh, looky. It's a soupy. Yeah, you see this activity down here in Mexico. This is going to move into Texas later this morning, South Texas, and some of those storms could have large hail and damaging winds in addition to quite a bit of lightning, etc. So storms will increase later this morning. The Rio Grande Plains, Southern Edwards Plateau, those are going to make their way towards the coastal bend, the coastal plains, and probably southeast Texas. So, Zapata to Laredo, Kingsville to Corpus Christi, all the way through Bport, Victoria, all the way up the coast to Houston and Galveston. Yeah, there'll probably be some storms later this morning into the day Saturday. So here's the storms out here in western North Texas. And again, yeah, Perrin's about to get it. Y'all are getting the wind now. You're going to begin some hail, quarter-size hail in the next little bit. So that's the western North Texas storms. And again, these should eventually start weakening. And, the western cluster has. That severe warning for Young County's been canceled. Throckmorton County been canceled. Stevens County has been canceled. Now you can see the warning only encompasses a small part from Grayford to Perrin for southern Jack, northern Palo Pinto, northwestern Parker counties. And again, this thing still seems to be moving more south. So again, springtime, I think you're going to be all right. I mean, this thing would have to take a complete left 90-degree turn, which would be absurd. But otherwise, yeah, out here near Graham, it's just storming and pouring. So that's the western North Texas storms. And again, this one, Jacksboro, you're clear. Perrin to Joplin, you might get some quarter-size hail. Strong winds and heavy rain. All right, out here in northeast Texas. And again, we're not dealing with any tornadoes. We're not doing any of that. We have some storms that could have up to quarter-size hail. And again, Gilmer, you're going to be clear. You're pretty much clear as it is. These storms, honestly, they're less organized than they were. Notice how we're kind of blobbing out here. This activity showing pretty good blobbing effect, for the lack of a more articulate term. Still could have some nickel to quarter-size hail with this, but this is not something.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Gregg, Harrison, Marion, and Upshur County in Texas.
We'll have to keep an eye on it. So that's going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning now. So let's talk about who just got put under that. It's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for Longview to Marshall, Nesbit, Lakeport, East Mountain. And if I can get this warning to pop up, I will happily read it to you. It's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45 a.m. for Gregg, Harrison, Marion, and Upshur counties. At 12:44 a.m., severe storms are located along a line extending from over Berea to West Mound, or along a line from 60 miles north of Marshall to 5 miles north of Gladewater, moving southeast to 25. These storms have the potential of producing quarter-size hail and wind gusts of 60 miles an hour. This severe thunderstorm warning includes Longview, Marshall, Kilgore, White Oak, Gladewater, Gilmer, Hallsville, Clarksville City, East Mountain, Harleton, Diana, Woodlawn, West Mountain, Lakeport, Easton, Scottsville, Union Grove, Warren City, and Judson. Again, this is a baseline severe warning for the potential of quarter-size hail, up to quarter-size hail, and some wind gusts that could be near 60 miles an hour. Most y'all are not going to be getting that. You're just getting the big, bad, very mad thunder, lightning experience of doom, and moderate to heavy rain, right? So we'll be watching for it. And then here's the storms out west. You can see the storms around Graham have weakened. We've got this storm southeast of Jacksboro now. That's moving southeast. And I think it is starting. Well, what's going on with the Fort Worth radar? Let me check this out. Let's use the Dias radar. You know, this storm southeast of Jacksboro, again, this is not one of these big, bad baseball-size hail situations. This is a situation where we could have hail up to the size of quarters. In fact, we had a report of, hey, radar, let's not be a turd. Let's just press some buttons. We had a report of quarter-size hail up in Jacksboro when that storm came rolling through. But again, not too worried about that. Yeah, it does look like we actually do have a couple of weak showers and storms in northern Fan and northwestern Lamar counties. Nothing to write home about there. But yeah, some lightning. So this storm is moving kind of southeast now. If it keeps that up, it is going to end up passing closer to places like Garner, Millsap, maybe west of Weatherford. It's still going to rain in Mineral Wells, that's for sure. But this is not going to be an issue for Springtown. It'll still stay west of Springtown. Runaway Bay, you're getting the heaviest rain right now that you'll have to deal with. So a pretty good downpour right now for a few minutes before it tapers off to light to moderate rain. No hail, no, 80-mile-an-hour winds. Out here in East Texas, we do have this cluster of storms now. Around Glenwood to East Mound, Union Grove, we've got storms around Nesbit to Jefferson. Again, these could have maybe nickel to quarter-size hail in spots. It's just a lot of strong winds, if that 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail, etc. Texas severe weather, I'm focusing on what's going on right now. If you want to know what's going to happen Sunday, well, guess what? Me too. We'll do a video on it later, but these streams are always going to prioritize real-time information versus what's going to happen or not in a day or two. I wouldn't recommend getting chippy with me at 1 in the morning. I'm usually not the most pleasant person at that point. But you can also go look here in about 10 minutes when the new Day 2 Severe Weather Outlook comes out. So, again, those of you around Longview, Marshall, Nesbit, Jefferson, Spring Hill, Diana, you're going to be dealing plenty of rain, lightning, gusty winds, nickel to quarter size hail. Over the next 20 to 30 minutes. You're all good. It is all good. So, back west. The storm southwest of Runaway Bay is continuing to move south-southeast about 20 to 30 miles an hour. It may be finally starting to weaken a little bit, I hope. I mean, look, let me say that comparatively. It has quarter-size hail, 1-inch hail, maybe 50 to 55 mile an hour winds. I just say I hope because I hope it dies soon so we can all go to bed. Because I know all of y'all out here, you know, you dealt with too many storms lately. I get it. Mineral Wells, again, it's going to be raining soon. Some cloud to ground lightning, gusty north winds. Nothing to worry about. Those of you in Joplin to Pern, you could begin some hail up to the size of quarters right now. If that. This is going to be moving down towards Weatherford. Could have some light or some lightning, gusty winds, maybe some hail. A smallish hail, probably pocket change. But we're not doing any sort of spinny dooms. We're not doing, you know, big, bad, very mad hail, etc. And then this stuff around, you know, Marshall to Longview, East Mount, again, at this point, most of y'all are not going to be getting hail. It's a bill blob at this point. Now, pockets of nickel to maybe quarter size hail, yes. And there is lightning out the wazoo. There is moderate to heavy rain. But, you know, we're not doing the whole big, bad, very mad. Storm's going to try to take out everything. Pretty good little hail core showing up right now between Nesbit and Jefferson. That's going to be crossing Highway 59, just north of Marshall, most likely. That's the strongest hail core we have right now. You can see it right here. That'll be crossing over 59, north sides of Marshall, south of Jefferson, the next 10 minutes. It'll move over 43, just north of Scottsville, and then may make it towards Wascom by 1:45 a.m. before moving into Louisiana. Yeah, Mineral Wells, you're getting what's called the outflow boundary. You're getting those thunderstorm outflow winds. In terms of that's what you're all getting right now, those strong outflow winds. So you could have some wind gusts over 30 miles an hour. You're going to get some rain, some cloud to ground lightning, but you're not going to be getting hail, no tornadoes, nothing like that there in Mineral Wells. So y'all in Mineral Wells are good. It is going to rain. You're going to have some lightning and thunder, but I want to reemphasize there is no tornado issue, no crazy 80-mile-an-hour winds, no mega hail for Mineral Wells. Same thing goes for Springtown. Same thing goes for Weatherford. Same thing goes for everyone this morning in Texas. It's just going to rain. You can see the storms west of Mineral Wells to Breckenridge. Those have weakened now. They're still there. It's like most of the storms in east and northeast Texas. We got lightning. We got gusty winds. Maybe some small hail. We have heavy rain, but that's just about it. Honestly, this is more beneficial than not. I mean, y'all probably need the rain anyway, or at least most of y'all. So again, there still is a pocket of what could be up to quarter-size hail just south of Joplin here. Just southwest of Joplin, southwest of Joplin, just east of Purim. That's going to be moving into western Parker County. It remains to be seen if the Weather Service is going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning. They may not. It could go either way, and either way, it'd probably be the right call. So we'll be watching for that, but that is going to be bringing some storms, some lightnings, gusty winds, heavy rain down to like Weatherford. I'm losing my ability to speak coherently, so apologies for that. But then out here in northeast and east Texas, you can see we've got all sorts of, thunderstorm activity ongoing with this. And then this stuff around Marshall, etc. The severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Jack County has been allowed to expire, so they just let the warning go. Wow. Nightbot's being nasty. If you're wanting to look at the severe weather outlook for Sunday, you can go to the Storm Prediction Center website. That's going to be spc.noaa.gov. I don't think it's out yet, but it should be out around 1 a.m. Or you can go to texasstormchasers.com/severe. Pop up on this page here eventually. I'll go ahead and put that link in the YouTube chat now. All right, so we are down to just some storms in East Texas that could have hail up to the size of nickels and quarters. And otherwise, this stuff west of DFW is weakening for now. I know the warning box is still here on this version. It's going to go away in 90 seconds. Otherwise, we've got this stuff ongoing out here, from, just northwest of Spring Hill, just east of East Mound. We've got a hail core just north of Longview. We've got some heavy rain out here around Marshall. And again, all this is going to be making its way eventually into Louisiana here the next hour or two. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to finally let us look at the high-res rapid refresh model, and we'll see what comes of this, truthfully. We'll see how well it's handling things. It may not be handling things well at all, but we'll see. I'm going to run this from 3 a.m. through 2 p.m., and this is mostly to see what happens at South Texas later tonight. And again, you can see East Texas. Well, it would help if I had timestamps. Y'all can see out here, East Texas, this model does keep some storms going through the early morning. Some of those could have some gusty winds and hail. Same thing for deep South Texas, but for the rest of North Texas, you can see things generally calm down if this model is right. And I use that emphasis if it's right because it may not be. It's not been doing super great lately. But that would at least be the logical trend here, right? So, all right, folks, what we are going to be doing now is we're going to, it's 1 a.m. These storms are not producing tornadoes. They're not producing crazy weather in the sense of, baseballs or 80-mile-an-hour winds. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot everyone over to our 24/7 live radar stream. If we have any big, bad, very mad issues, we'll be back. But again, we're mostly just down to rowdy, loud thunderstorms. They are loud, they are proud, but, unless something really crazy happens, we're not doing any tornadic issues or anything like that tonight. So thanks for popping on in, y'all. We'll see you over on the 24/7 live stream. Have a good night, and God bless.